Well. Hey, welcome back. This is an impromptu the cesspool. I'm not going to do a full version of the cesspool because I don't think this content creator is even worth doing a full version of the cesspool. I just don't. I think that enough has been said on this particular content creator that everything I'm going to say is just a kind of a rehash. Although I'm going to go over my blog here in a few minutes, but I don't think they're really worth even making an acceptable thumbnail for. I'm just not interested in giving this content creator any more of my time, except for this. UNIRock is canceled. Now, do we all believe that he's canceled? Not so much, only for the fact that, hey, look, UNIRock is a cockroach. UNIRock is such a despicable human being that all he's going to do is go find another community to grift from. That's it. That's all he's going to do, and he will find people to follow him. It's just the nature of cockroachism. But for those who don't know, you can't hear me too well. Let me turn it up a little bit. Let me try something here. One sec. There, is that better? How's that? Is that better, April? I can give a little mic gain too. I'm trying not to overdrive this. There we go. How's that? Ooh, wow, that's way overdriven. There we go. One sec. Audio. Okay, that should be about right. So, yeah, I got to turn my compressor back on, I think. All right, let me know if that's okay right there, because I can tell that I'm kind of peaking really loud, and I'm not trying to. Because when I rant, I kind of get louder than I should. You can hear you? All right. It's going to peak a little bit, though, because I can see it peaking on my meter, but I'll just turn it down a little bit there. All right. So anyways, long story short, let me kind of give you the gist of what's going on, because I'm just finding this out myself. Aaron didn't give me much heads up on this, probably because I don't have much time to talk to Aaron, but Aaron has recently discovered that this letter that UNIRock had supposedly received from JLR, again, not going to mention who that person is, some dude that was related to Sandy Hook. But this is to say that JLR is a psychopath. And this letter supposedly that UNIRock got was directed to his mom, and it was a handwritten letter supposedly, and it had mentioned various content creators, one of which was Queen Bee, which I do not know very well at all. Actually, I really don't know anything about her, but I do know she has some kids, which is all I really need to know, honestly. It's just that's really it. The fact that she has some kids is all you really need to know about this, because come to find out that there wasn't actually a letter per se. What it was according to EKC, and I have every reason to believe her. I haven't verified this myself. I haven't seen the letter. I haven't talked to her about it. I'm going strictly by off what she's saying. So if she's wrong, go over there and complain to her. But I believe her, because I know EKC does her research. So I'm going to blind faith believe her on this, and if she's wrong, then I'll retract it. But she messaged JLR and asked him, "Did you send a letter to UNIRock?" His answer was no. But his publicist, or somebody who helps produce his show, said, well, we sent him a cease and desist. And we sent multiple copies of a cease and desist, one of which was to his mom. Boy, does this sound familiar. Is this reminiscent of 2018 with Kyle Curtis? I mean, sending things to his mom, right? And then people saying, oh, you can't serve things to his mom. Find out you could. People that said that Kyle wasn't served properly were wrong. But it is kind of going back a few years on that. But here's a situation where he was sent a cease and desist. I don't know the details of what it was, but basically stopped talking about JLR because Rock does conspiracy theory stuff. And that's all it was. And so it had no mention of Queen Bee except for a link to a video, supposedly, that was on UNIRock's channel that had Queen Bee in the title. That was the only reference to Queen Bee, was just a link to a title to a video that UNIRock had done some time back. But UNIRock, in his infinite stupidity, decided to sensationalize the cease and desist. Instead of just going, hey, look, I got a cease and desist from this guy JLR, and he's trying to silence me. He wants me to take down some videos, and done the persecution porn that he's so brilliant at doing, because he is really good at grifting. I'll give him that. That's the only thing he's good at, is grifting. Instead of doing that, he decided to overplay his hand, in my opinion. And how he always overplayed his hand was that he just tried to get involved with other content creators. And the best way to do that is to cause drama. I got something flying outside there. I don't know what the hell that is. You guys hear that? It's not an earthquake. It sounds like a biplane. Holy cow. So he decided to basically reach out, and this again, secondhand story. Hopefully I'll get it correct. You guys know some of this already, so let me know if I get this wrong. But for those who don't, who are just finding out about this, supposedly he had reached out to Queen Bee and said, hey, I need to get a hold of you. I've got this letter that was sent to my mom. It's a little bit of threatening. It's handwritten and it has your name in it. So when Queen Bee and her friends had asked him, okay, well, what is threatening about it? What is in there? He basically said, I can't show it to anybody because my lawyer said not to. I'll send it to Queen Bee and tag her directly in Discord. Queen Bee looked for the tag, couldn't find it anywhere. He can't produce anywhere he tagged her. He lied. He never tagged her. I have no doubt in my mind he never tagged her with anything. But he was trying to gaslight her and say that he had tagged her, sent her the evidence, she's not getting any. And so people were saying, well, if you just take a picture of the letter. He said, well, no, I can't take a picture of the letter. I went over to my mom's house. She read it to me over the phone. Then I went over there and I read it. Now my lawyer has it. Now we got a second letter from JLR. Got to find out it's not a second letter from JLR. It's the same cease and desist sent to multiple people. You know, that's not a second letter. This is, again, what I'm finding out from EKC. And he never did send anything to Queen Bee. Now, here's my biggest takeaway from this particular grift. We all know that he is a vile, immoral, detestable, loathsome human being. However, in this particular case, he has done something that crosses all boundaries, even among the biggest trolls I know. Even the most shittiest freaking people I've ever had to deal with. Almost all of them. Almost all of them. It's not handwritten. No, it was just a typed cease and desist form letter. But even the shittiest trolls I've ever seen, most of them will not put kids in harm's way. Most of them. Most of them. You have truly the psychotic ones. Don't get me wrong. You have some really psychotic trolls out there that do not care because they are sociopaths. UNIRock is in that level. He did not care that Queen Bee's kids could or may not have been in jeopardy. Obviously, there's no real threat because there was a cease and desist. But he wanted Queen Bee to think that her and her family were in jeopardy. If you can think of something more morally testable that a content creator has done in any recent past, let me know. And there have been. I mean, I'm not saying that's the worst. But as far as like what UNIRock has done, at least, UNIRock has done majorly despicable things. The fact that he went after innocent people for years, like Atisha. The fact he went after myself for years. I'll even say Molly Golightly, although I don't know how relevant her innocence or not is. She's done some weird things, but she seems like a decent person to me. I don't know. I don't watch her, but she did not deserve anything to the levels that UNIRock did to her, because once UNIRock stopped talking about me, he had to find a new target, which was Molly Golightly. There's a lot of people that knew about this. A lot of people that left his Discord, and a lot of people said, hey, UNIRock, enough. You are turning into a complete troll. And I wrote a blog on this. It's from 2019, which I'll go over. Some people listened. Some people didn't. Okay, some people were slow. I get it, right? I'm not going to fault everybody who didn't listen to me back then. I'm just not going to do that. However, there were people that didn't listen to me that continued to support him, and to this day still do. I mean, Navy Tex is little bitch flying monkey literally will sign off on anything that UNIRock does. UNIRock could go kick a puppy, could stab a baby, and Navy Tex would be going, well, he really didn't mean it. He was an accident. He will lie incessantly for Uni, and anybody thinks otherwise, you are seriously mistaken. I have no idea where people get this. Oh, Navy Tex is so nice, so upright, so ethical. He has signed off on Uni's behavior for years. For years. How is he ethical? He got so much shit wrong when it came to the non-sequitur showcase. He got so much shit wrong when it came to myself, EKC, Tina. He signed off on every bad behavior that UNIRock did. There's no forgiveness for him. He went down with a sinking ship when UNIRock was literally saying to Queen Bee, there was some stuff in a letter that you might want to be aware of because it involved your kids. At that point, you are signing off on behavior that even the most malignant trolls on 4chan detest. Most trolls, like I said, will not involve children. There's just, I don't know if it's an unspoken rule. I don't know. It's kind of like, a code even between despicable people that you just don't mess with kids. And that's exactly what UNIRock has done here, in my opinion. This is what he's being more canceled over for than anything else, I think. It's not the fact that he lied. He lies regularly. He's lied for years. So what? What I think is canceling him is that he tried to involve a content creator that apparently is somewhat popular. Again, I know nothing about Queen Bee. Nothing. All I know is that she has a couple kids. That's all I need to know, like I said. But he decided to involve a content creator that has a little bit of a platform in order to try to defame them. Same thing he did to me. Same thing he did to LEB. Same thing he did to Molly. Same thing he did to EKC. This is what he does for years. He goes into a community and he tries to sabotage that community. Now, he had the trifecta with me because during the time where he was attacking me, there was illegal things going on. He got all that court case wrong. In fact, he helped Kyle getting a lawyer after Kyle lied about having a lawyer. Kyle never had a lawyer. I don't believe UNIRock has a lawyer, but, whatever. Show me evidence UNIRock has a lawyer and I'll believe it. Simple as that. If UNIRock has a lawyer, show me evidence, I'll believe it. But until then, I think that almost everything he says is a lie. Can't say everything, but 95 to 90% of everything UNIRock says is a lie. Or at least highly distorted. So if he says he has a lawyer, I'm going to need to see evidence for that. But Kyle did lie and said he had a lawyer when he didn't. And UNIRock still supported him. And, of course, they did a GoFundMe that was fraudulent. An actual GoFundMe that was fraudulent. He's the king of GoFundMes for fraudulent, supposedly finding fraudulent ones. But he was behind one of the biggest ones. He was behind a $6,000 grift from Kyle Curtis. Kyle Curtis did get a lawyer with that money. So some people are like, well, it's not a grift if you got the lawyer for it. Well, it is a grift when Kyle lied to the court. It is a grift when Kyle had no case. It is a grift when Kyle lied to the constituents and the people of the community, saying that he needed money to fight something that he lied about having a case for because it was clear that he was lying. He submitted false evidence to the court. He submitted altered records to the court. His lawyer quit because of the fact he was lying to the court. She withdrew from the case. He filed those filings with false pretense. He got a lawyer from a GoFundMe that was fraudulent. And UNIRock supported that and enabled it, which was fine. All it did was really extend the case. Kyle was going to lose either way, but in the long run, it kind of helped me. In the long run, even though the case was going to run longer anyways because of Covfefe, that was an inevitability. So it was, like I said, it was a trifecta of events. But really, kind of what did help me is when Kyle got a lawyer and he had to actually produce evidence that he didn't have, and he fabricated evidence to the court. It just solidified my position 100%. It just proved to everyone in a court of law that he had to fabricate evidence in order to try to even remotely have the court adjudicate his claim that he wasn't served properly, which they did adjudicate, and they found that he was served properly, contrary to UNIRock and his ilk, like Navy Tech, saying that he wasn't served properly. Everything UNIRock and Navy Tech said about the court case, they got wrong. So, yeah, anybody who's signing off on that saying, oh, Navy Texas is a great guy, BS. I throw the BS flag. I'm sorry. So Justice says he made it sound like he got a handwritten psycho letter threatening to harm her and was a friggin' C&D. Yes. Hashtag yes. Now, this isn't really any big surprise to people that to me at least, this is not a big surprise. This is what Uni does. He always grandstands things. He always sensationalizes things. He always makes things salacious. He always takes something and tries to use it for clicks and views. Always and forever. That's his whole existence on the internet. So this doesn't surprise me at all. What surprises me is that, one, people didn't see through him a long time ago. Two, people didn't push him hard more for the letter and saying, okay, you have always asked for evidence from other people. It's your turn to produce the evidence. You're making these claims. you're involving Queen Bee and her kids. We need to see the evidence, or at least Queen Bee. At the very least, Queen Bee should have seen what he was talking about. If you're telling me as a parent that my kids might be in danger, I'm going to want to know what you are talking about. But no, that's not what he did. What he did was he went on his stream for 6 hours or something and said absolutely nothing. He rambled about nothing. He didn't show the letter. He didn't address, the threats. And then he had the audacity to say, well, initially he didn't think it was any big deal. Then he went back and reread it, and he thought it more disturbing or something, or found, to be more problematic or something. Really laying it thick that maybe there's some concern that Queen Bee should have for her family. Unbelievable. But in 2019, if you guys can see this, let me move this over here. Yeah, you can see this. I wrote a blog because I write a blog, right? I write a blog on a whole bunch of stuff. And one of the things I wrote on was UNIRock, the story of a troll. This is a lean 3 years old. What's a lean 3 years old? Stephen Andrews, grow up. This is a lean 3 years old. What are you talking about? Explain that to me. I'm confused. I don't know what that even means. All right. Anyways, by the way, look. Here's the people that were enabled him back then. There was negative exponents. There was a UNIRock. I think that was that Navy text. I think so. Is that there his icon? I can't even remember. But these are the people that were enabling him. And I'm going to read this to you. So let's have a little story time. Sit back and relax. Here we go. Uni, quote unquote, PayPal me, Rock is a YouTuber who me and my community, the Great Debate Community, GDC, stumbled across after he did a pretty decent breakdown of events regarding the breakup of the Non-sequitur show in and around June 2019. For those who are not familiar with the Non-sequitur show, NSS, first, like Where Have You Been Living? We were popular back then. Second, the Too Long Didn't Read version is that I co-owned a channel with a YouTuber on a YouTube called the Non-sequitur show, which my then business partner, Kyle R. Curtis, tried to hijack as his own and make off with $60,000 of the fans' money. Mr. Curtis was found liable in North Carolina Mandatory Supreme Court for fraud, fraudulent conversion, unfair and deceptive. I'm sorry. This was actually wrong. It wasn't unjust enrichment. It was unfair and deceptive trade practices. I will fix this, though. See, I fix my mistakes, even they go back to 2019. Wow. That's how I roll, by the way. This is actually incorrect. He was found liable for fraud, fraudulent conversion, breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, and unfair and deceptive trade practices, not unjust enrichment. That was on there. That's what we were suing for, but he wasn't found liable for that. He was found liable for unfair and deceptive trade practices. So I will correct that after the stream is done. Okay? And yeah, nobody would have caught that, but that's okay. I like to be fastidious in these things. This is the case number. This is where you find it. You can go to it and look up all the records. I said many from my community took a liking to UNIRock, as did I as well. I fully admit that. When I started listening to UNIRock and he was getting stuff right about non-sequitur, I enjoyed it because he was getting things correct. And I'm like, okay. And by the way, it didn't take a real brilliant guy to figure out what was going on in the non-sequitur show. The people that sided with Kyle, they were just idiots. You really had to be pretty stupid not to see what was going on. And the people that turned against me, believing him, I have nothing to say about them other than just they were stupid. I mean, what else can you say? I was telling the truth the entire time. It was proven I was telling the truth. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about. They decided to go with Kyle merely because they seemed to have liked him better rather than where the facts were. But nobody wanted to ask him for evidence. None of them wanted to ask him for evidence. Goddess Engineer didn't want to ask him for evidence. Caitlin Clory didn't want him to ask him for evidence. Jimmy Snow didn't want to ask him for evidence. The only one that actually did, believe it or not, it was after the fact. It was long after the fact, so it's only a partial credit. But you know who the only one asked him to give for evidence? It was Katie Joy Paulson. I'm stuck in 2019. This just literally just happened. This literally happened today. About UNIRock being canceled. I'm just giving you the history of my experience with him. Because people are going to be talking about his cancellation and prevent him from going to further communities, to doing the same thing he did to Queen Bee. And so all I'm doing is adding to that body of evidence. So if somebody wants to do an actual dive on it, they can go back and see historically what happened. That's it. If you have an issue with that, by all means, take it up with somebody else because I don't care. All right. But like I said, UNIRock was doing really well, honestly, when he was evaluating this stuff. He says, I too enjoyed listening to his commentaries in regards to his reviews and situations going on with Non-sequitur, and another YouTuber and then pathos writer named Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball. Katie Joy, as she goes by now, was a guest on the Non-sequitur show to do a segment on Jilly Juice, a woo-woo and dangerous drink promoted by Jillian Mai Tai Epperly. Mai Tai? Is it Epperly? That is basically a heavy brine solution of cabbage that causes massive diarrhea she calls, quote, waterfalls. And that's all true. I'll fix the grammar when I fix the little error. I'm going to add a little more grammar here, but I'll fix the little minor stuff. But yeah, this is true. Which is kind of odd because UNIRock, when he first started talking about this situation, he saw through Katie Joy. He was riling on Katie Joy. He was shitting on her left and right because of the fact that he saw exactly what the rest of us see when it comes to Katie Joy, until she decided to buy him off, until she started to pay for his services to go attack people, which is exactly what she did. Then his narrative changed, which is kind of, again, weird because Nonsense the other day decided to do a video review from a video from 2019 of UNIRock, talking about me living in the past. Yeah, the letter thing just happened today. Yeah. And by the way, I'd love to stop talking about it. Look, I haven't talked about UNIRock in ages. Today's the first day I've talked about UNIRock in how long? I have very few videos on UNIRock. I don't bother with the dude. I leave that for other people because he's just so morally disgusting. Even talking about him, I feel dirty, right? So I don't like to discuss things of such a egregious nature. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's not the kind of content I want to do. But, this is topical. This is going on. And I think it's just desserts for Uni to get canceled by his own method. And so, yeah, I'm talking about it tonight a little bit. So, by the way, have you guys read this before? How many of you guys have read this? All right. Then I go on to say, ironically, Katie Joy, however, turned out to be a bit of a troll herself. But that's for another blog, which I literally have 4 entries on my blog of Katie Joy's false claims against me and other people. Needless to say, for the too long didn't read version, Kyle decided to have her on the show, and not just as a future guest, but as a co-host of a new show on the channel called The Smoking Nun. Something, of course, was a unilateral decision by Kyle, all of which I had no input on, nor say in the matter, though I was a 50% partner of the show. And then this is no longer there, so I'm going to skip that because he took that down. I said, after Non-sequitur's show fell apart, ergo Kyle destroyed by his ego and greed, mostly ego. Is it coming through just one ear? If it is, I can fix that. Why don't somebody tell me that? I can fix that if it's not coming through both ears. 1 second. It was running fine before. I don't know why it changed. One second. All right. That should fix that. Is that better, Punisher? Yeah, no, nobody told me it was on mono. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry. Yes. Non-sequitur show is still a thing. I just did Non-sequitur today with Thomas Sheedy and Planner Walk on the political divide. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so I issued Kyle a demand letter to no longer stream to the channel, which he completely ignored and continued to stream to the channel with Mr. Atheist, Jimmy Snow, Goddess Engineer, Caitlin Chloe, and of course Katie Joy. They continued streaming with dramatically and notably poorer content, devaluing the channel significantly from $98,000 fair market value to practically at this time worthless. None of them to this date have ever remotely been apologetic to me nor the Non-sequitur show fans for helping to destroy what I and others helped build, such as Bullinator and our amazing producer and our and are quite dedicated fans, which is true. None of them ever did. None of them ever did. They never will, obviously. Katie Joy's last appearance on the channel was on June 17th, 2019, and if you can make it past the first 10 minutes of cringe, I'd very much be impressed by the number of dislikes. It says all the smoking nun, which was right here. It doesn't have dislikes anymore, but this particular video here had a lot of dislikes. It was definitely disliked a lot. The comments are hilarious, you know. Let me tell you something, Kyle. I want you to keep going with this as far as you can take it. Not because I don't think this was a shitty thing to do, but because I want to see how successful you can get by being an absolute piece of shit. Yeah. As shitty as this video is, no new content at all isn't what's going to replace the 3,000 subscribers who left. Yeah. This host is disconnected. Holy fuck, is that ironic as anemic? Anemia. That's as ironic as anemia. Yeah. I mean, so you can go back and see those comments. So basically, UNIRock was riding that wave because it was a very popular topic back then, and he decided to get in on it. That's all. Let's see here. Now back to UNIRock. UNIRock once again did a surprisingly decent job breaking down the involvement of Katie Joy with Non-sequitur and her numerous accusations against me. But then it happened. UNIRock decided that views and dollars were more important than his integrity. Well, I was wrong about that myself. He never had any integrity. My bad. So I definitely made a flub there. He didn't decide that views and dollars were more important than integrity. He has never had integrity to make that decision. Which is all fine and dandy, except he didn't care if what he was being critical or about was correct or not. He simply wanted to basically stir the pot for drama and was hoping I would make a response video, which I did. So I made a response video when basically he was going to go on his channel and spew some nonsense that was wrong. He didn't care. He just said, hey, look, if people want to watch, they want to watch. If I get it wrong, I'll fix it later. If they call it out. But other than that, I don't care. This is his attitude. He's like, make a video response to me. And I was like, dude, I don't want to sit there and make video response to video response, but I will make a video response to this because you are literally saying to me and other people who were listening in this was in Discord, in a call. We didn't have a call, but he was typing this in Discord. But we did have a call, but where was the call? I think it was in Meets. It had to be Meets back then. But he had said that he didn't care if what he put out was true or not, so long as people listened. And I couldn't stand by that. I just couldn't do it. During which, at 1:15:40, I literally had to take them off my headphones and just talk. As in 7 years of being on YouTube, it's been longer than that now. What? Geez, 10 years? 11 years? I've never once had somebody on my channel who interrupted more. That has changed. I think that I have had people on that have interrupted more than UNIRock, but it's close. But he tried to talk over and do what I call bird dogging. And bird dogging is basically wherever you're trying to have a cogent, coherent train of thought, somebody tries to interrupt you so you can't get that thought out. It's basically a trolling technique. And you'll see UNIRock do it often. When he knows somebody can expose his bullshit, when he knows somebody has the evidence he doesn't have, listen to what he does. He'll mess with his mic. He'll make coughing sounds. He'll make little snide comments. He'll try to throw the person off to distract them from finishing their train of thought. Bird dogging. Watch, you'll see it. Like I said, I know his playbook intimately. I know all the tricks he uses, and that's certainly one of them. And then I said, I talked to him who couldn't understand astronomically basic logic and argue against flat earthers. He's so stupid. He can't understand basic logic. I told UNIRock that I no longer wish to be providing him information in various YouTube situations such as Non-sequitur or Katie Joy, nor wish to expend any energy making videos to address him further. This did not sit well with UNIRock, and he decided to play the, quote, enemy of my enemy is my friend game, and actually befriended Katie Joy because he couldn't get to me to react to him further to drive his views, subs, and, quote, PayPal me YouTube mentality. That's a fact. That is a fact. He went over to Katie Joy so they could start having this little plan to attack me because I would no longer give him facts about the case. And so he figured, oh, I'll just go to Steve's, enemy, Katie Joy. And then they fabricated this plan they came up with this plan to fabricate evidence against me, and almost got caught too. Because if you guys remember, they were streaming to their own channels. But Uni hadn't started his stream yet, but Katie Joy had. And he didn't know this. And Katie Joy was streaming live to her channel when UNIRock had said that he could make me sound like he could make it sound like I said anything he wants me to say. He told Katie Joy he could basically make up evidence that would make it sound like I'm saying the most vile, nasty things to a woman. This is what he said. He didn't realize that she had already been streaming. This is what they were planning to do. This is why I think that Katie Joy is behind 99% of this. When it comes to Molly Golightly, when it comes to Letitia, it's Katie Joy. I guarantee it. So, he did tag team up with her for that very reason. I told UNIRock I no longer wish to. UNIRock then went to take a page from Kyle and Katie Joy playbook of character assassination, and accused me of running a quote fraudulent fundraiser for a fellow YouTuber Leslie Bass, and at the time sick with the flu mother of 6 kids who just lost her nephew just prior to Christmas, who both UNIRock and Katie Joy quite literally harassed and bullied until she was having panic attacks and shut down all her social media. This is some of the stuff that Aaron and I didn't want to have to bring up. We think it's something that just should stay buried, but unfortunately it is out there, and people like Nonsense keep bringing UNIRock's past up in 2019. This is stuff that UNIRock brought with all that. So this comes along with that, and it's unfortunate, but this is the history. This is the facts. This is the truth. This is the truth that Nonsense never bothered to look into. Then I say, including mass flagging campaigns by Katie Joy to false flag Leslie's channel, which Leslie ended up getting a community guideline strike, preventing her from streaming for 3 months. Both of them have diehard fans or trolls who go out sending intimidating messages to people such as myself, Leslie Bass, sipping tea with me and Joe, who turned out to be a huge troll, by the way. Shocker. And other content creators. And again, you can find all this heavily documented on social media, including the Without a Crystal Ball's Twitter account, which is right here. They keep a lot of tabs for this stuff, this commentary account. I'm aware that community guideline strikes are only supposed to be a warning and then 1 week to 2 week without being able to stream. But I'm unable to ask Leslie for clarification as she has basically gone off grid with me. Again, all facts. We've worked through things. I'm not going to say anything negative about Leslie. We've patched things up. Under the water bridge, there's bigger fish to fry. And on the bigger points, we agree on things. So I have no issue with Leslie whatsoever. And the best to her and her family and to her sister. Kawhi says, I'm a witness to these events. Watched how Uni first came in the gang, and then disagreement and the clash, which was streamed, and then turning to Katie Joy, saw it all go down. 100%. Yes. Wait, didn't Steve raise money to sue Katie? Yes. And I tried as much as I could to sue her. I sent her my complaint, and there was things that were prohibitive after that. So, yeah, but I got my point across. I mean, she lied in her cross complaint, which is something that is well worth it, because I have now a documentation she filed through the quote unquote system. I mean, to the lawyers at least. She gave to my lawyer that basically proved beyond all doubt, not just reasonable doubt, but proved beyond all doubt she lied. Because, yeah, she's, if her saying that I lived in Minnesota right there proves she's a liar. So it was well worth it. UNIRock and Katie Joy then started running narratives that this was somehow, quote, a fraudulent fundraiser. It wasn't even a fundraiser. What it was that I had gone to Leslie Bass's Instagram and offered just before Christmas to do a super chat donation drive for her family. I realized she couldn't stream. I thought it was a nice thing to do. I thought, her kids could get some presents. And so I brought it to her. It wasn't Leslie Bass's idea. It was 100% my idea. Didn't have anything to do with anybody else. Just me. And I figured, of course, it would upset Katie because Katie worked so hard to try to take, Leslie's channel down and my channel down. She did ask people if they knew any trolls to try to mass flag. This is what they do. And I said, in no uncertain terms, there was no fraud involved. I have, in 7+ years on YouTube, helped numerous people in times of need and supported a number of fundraisers and donated even as much as 10% of my income at one time. I did. I still, to this day, give money to people that have asked for it, and I don't ever talk about it because I don't need to. Yeah. Truth 911, I've already addressed that in some other videos. So if you want to go watch my other videos on that particular topic, by all means. But yeah, that would take a few hours to get into. But go watch those other videos. Yeah. I didn't want UNIRock or Katie George's deplorable or reprehensible actions to affect Leslie's revenue during Christmas. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. If not over in my entire income last year to what I felt to be worthy causes. Leslie was a worthy cause. I absolutely believe that. I still didn't want UNIRock or Katie Joy's deplorable or reprehensible actions to affect Leslie's revenue during Christmas. So during the Instagram live stream, I offered Leslie to have her come to my channel, and I would donate 9% of the gross revenue from the super chats to her. Yeah, I meant net. That was my bad. It was actually the net that I told her. She was earning around $1,000 a month, and I at least wanted to help subsidize some of her losses. Less than 30 minutes later, we were streaming on my channel, no collusion, and we raised, and it was raised about $1,000 over 3 days. $536 from Super Chats, an additional $500 directly to Leslie's PayPal afterwards, according to her. Again, this is from what I was told after the fact. The initial Super Chat drive had about $530 some odd dollars, and every dime went to her. I think it was off 20 cents. I do remember that. I think I put down. I transposed something. It was like $536 and like let's just say 42 cents. I put 24, but I remember there's a 20 cents difference. But other than that, and then supposedly she had some money sent to her afterwards. That's where the $1,000 came from. Cajun then issued a defamation claim against the video. Yes, against the Super Chat drive for a mother of 6 kids during Christmas, which resulted in it being blocked in the UK. Yeah. So, I've already addressed that, Truth. If you ask again, you'll be timed out. I gave you the information where to go find it. Is that new? I'm sorry. I don't know if you re-asked or not. But yeah, that's not the topic of discussion. Yeah. UNIRock and Katie Joy continued to run narrative that Leslie was for some reason faking not being able to stream. Again, who knows? Even though Leslie showed a video of her trying to stream and it coming up an error message of being unable to stream due to a GCS, which it is true. There is a video. She did try to stream. She couldn't due to a community guideline strike. They also claimed some emails sent to Leslie about the strike was fake. Again, don't know. There was 2 small anomalies in regards to the typeset and grammar of the letter. The header clearly showed it was an email to Leslie's real account in regards to community guideline strike. That's which is true. These anomalies of this date have gone unresolved, as I noted. As again, Leslie went off grid and doesn't wish to further address any accusations by UNIRock or Katie Joy. That's all that happened there. That's exactly what happened. They're unresolved. They're going to be unresolved. So be it. And I say, after distancing myself from UNIRock, I removed his mod wrench from my main channel, but forgot to on my alt channel, the Great Debate Community. During a live stream, one of his former mods and major supporters of UNIRock came into my live feed and started hiding my viewers. He managed to remove 2 listeners before I demodded him and kicked him from the live chat. That is a true story. Yeah, true story. It was UNIRock, and he came in with somebody else, but he started literally going into my channel and removing people from the live chat. Again, this is what a troll does. This is what a shitty person would do. Thus, UNIRock the troll was born. UNIRock, quote, PayPal me, quote, unquote, Rock is all about saying bullshit merely to stir up drama to get views and donos. He has no ethics, no moral compass, no actual opinions other than what he needs to say to stir up drama and try to get other content creators to make videos about him so he can make response videos. This is a man with no honor. This is what I said in 2019. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So I think a lot of people were without excuse when all of a sudden they're like, oh, we didn't know. Well, here's what I have to say to Nonsense and to her clan. You guys tout yourself as some arbitrary, given these powers, arbitrarily given these powers by who knows, to go investigate people. You're part of this crime community. You do deep dives and dig into people and all these other things you do. But you didn't do this with UNIRock? You didn't find out his history until just now? I'm throwing the BS flag on that there, Nonsense, and your ilk. I really am. There's all this information with UNIRock that goes back even before me dealing with some of the stupid shit that he did with QAnon. And yet you didn't find any of that. Because you didn't look. Because you didn't want to look. And so, yeah, I can forgive some people that maybe didn't know. I mean, maybe Queen Bee didn't know. I'm not going to say Queen Bee had a clue about UNIRock or not. Maybe she didn't. She probably didn't. I'm going to go and give her the benefit of the doubt because I don't know her. I have no reason to doubt her. She's never given me a reason to say, yeah, she's dishonest. I don't know her. Nonsense, on the other hand, I don't believe a word she says. I think she had to known that UNIRock was like this the entire time. Evan Van Veen, UNIRock was the rogue mod. Yeah, he was a mod that I forgot to remove his wrench, and he went rogue and started to doing a live chat, remove people from my live chat. Yeah. But I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that there's an excuse to be had by the content creators that were supporting UNIRock? And I take the hit, man. People can say, well, you supported him at one time. This is true. And I didn't do my due diligence and look into his QAnon stuff because I didn't understand it. I did a little bit. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand to anywhere near, some of the things we found out later on. But I probably could have checked into it more. Okay, fair enough. This is why I can't hold other account creators responsible for promoting UNIRock if they really didn't know what was going on. However, there's been 4 years of this since then. There's been so much of UNIRock lying about people. He had 700 videos about me. He had videos about Molly Golightly. He had videos against Letitia. He had videos against Leslie. I can tell you everything he said that is right and wrong because I have all the evidence and the history behind it. But they didn't seem to care. It was, UNIRock is going after somebody like Molly Golightly. UNIRock is going after somebody like Letitia. That's all they cared about. And yet they know now, I think they do recognize the fact that UNIRock had lied to them and Katie Joy had lied to them and there was never this fraud raiser with Letitia. I think they recognize that now. But if they do, they should feel really guilty. They should feel so bad that they went after a mother just wanting to see her child, a vet that was in a coma. That's despicable. I hope they feel really, really guilty. But UNIRock and Katie Joy did this deliberately. They deliberately tried to say there were some GoFundMes that were fraudulent. And there has never been a single fraudulent GoFundMe besides one, which caught us all off guard because I gave to it. And that was with Moon. Moon claimed to have cancer when she did it. I gave her money. I fell for it myself. So there's not a fraud raiser there that had anything to do with us other than we got victimized by it. Myself, Rez, and other people. We were given people. We gave money to her. We donated. And then to find out that she had lied to the community about it. That's the only one that was fraudulent. There's never been a single other fraudulent GoFundMe that had anything to do with me or Reds or anything else. And yet he says he has this spreadsheet, which I've seen, which shows all these fraudulent GoFundMes and he has all these thousands of dollars and stuff like that. It's all bullshit. He goes around and he shows that, oh, look, I got a spreadsheet here of all these people that I showed were committing fraud and fraudulent GoFundMe. He did it to down the rabbit hole, that one girl. And she believed it by fiat. Oh, I saw a spreadsheet. Didn't think to even ask if any of it was legit because it's not. She just wanted to buy into UNIRock's bullshit because she was going after the same people. She, promoted this police report. That wasn't even a real police report per se. It was just somebody making a statement online. She touted it as, oh, this is real, and the police are investigating, and Letitia, they're after her, and they're looking for her, and they want to talk to her. None of that ever happened. Down the rabbit hole was wrong about that. Shocker. All it was somebody who filed a report that never went any further. That's it. It's just a filing. Anybody can go do it. I can file something right now, take a screenshot of it, and send it. That's it. That's it. That's all it was. There's no investigation. But down the rabbit hole, made it out and be more than that. Why she sensationalized it, just like Uni does. She did exactly the same page out of the playbook that UNIRock uses. Super chat real quick. Flamo says $5. I should pay you to find all the bad stuff I did so I can start overwriting it and rebranding. I didn't know you had a brand, Flamo. Yeah, I didn't know you had a brand. And dude, I'm not the person who goes around looking for details of people. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I've never done a records research, a record poll, or anything like that. So, let's see here. Rarely care. You can answer. Sure. Questions and answers. Go for it. Yes, we like questions. Let's see here. Just catching up. Yeah, if you got questions, by all means, ask. Again, nobody from that community came to me and asked me about anything about UNIRock. Contessa didn't, a.k.a. Becky, a.k.a. Nonsense on the Web 2.0. Neither did Nunya. Neither did Heels in the Air. None of them. No, the Doom, who's just a complete nutter. Yeah, Kino's on vacation right now. She just got her tum-tum full, I believe, and had a few drinks. Did you?
Yes, I had an adios motherfucker.
She had an adios motherfucker. I'm sitting here talking to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's working through things. People know what happened, right? You told them, right?
Yeah, I told them.
Okay. Yeah. So Kino's mother passed away a few weeks ago, and they gave her some what's it called? The leave, the grieve, they call it. Bereavement leave. I couldn't think of the name. I was thinking maternity leave. I'm like, no, she doesn't need that. At least I hope not. You don't need maternity leave, right? But they gave her, the only thing that bothered me about that, and I'm sorry for going off topic, but no, I'm not, because this is my roommate and I love her to death. The only thing that really bothered me they gave her bereavement leave is they did so 2 or 3 weeks after the fact. They didn't care enough the first week.
They were just worried about the Coachella Fest.
Yeah, they were just worried about Coachella Fest, which is a big event down here in the Coachella Valley, and I'm right here in Coachella. I mean, I could hear the music from where I'm at, and so they didn't seem to care about her mental health, and she broke down at work. A few weeks later, and that's when they're like, oh, maybe we should give you some leave, when she's like, I need time off. My mom passed away. No, we got Coachella Fest. That pissed me off to no end. You don't even know how much I dislike her work. I think they're, I hate her. Sorry, I hate your work.
But you and Alejandro and Jesus, my support system.
Yeah. All right, but anyways, sorry about that. Not sorry. Yeah, she's doing much better. I make sure she's sane, for the most part, as well to be expected. But whatever. Do you guys have questions? So I got a little hiccups here, and I apologize. I'm gonna have to drink some water here. One sec.
I need a beer.
Yeah, I'm having water. So somebody went on and asked some questions. Yeah, what questions do you have about UNIRock? Because like I said, I have all the deets. I have all the history going back at least to 2018 with this guy. The QAnon stuff I don't have too much on because, again, I just have it filed somewhere. But it's so convoluted that to really get to the core of what happened is time-consuming. I can just tell you this. He didn't do anything spectacular. He didn't do anything unique. His covers of QAnon and Pizzagate were the same thing that other people were freaking doing. He had an in, yeah, don't get me wrong, but they all turned against him. Yeah, he was just basically trolling them as well. Who's asking a question here? Who is this woman in the background? That's Kano, my roommate, my sister, my fam.
Me and Steve been living together for over a year now.
We've known each other like 15 years.
Yeah.
We used to, I worked over at Kohl's, and I would take the bus, and she worked across the street, and so we end up on the bus together a lot.
Yeah.
How is he canceled? Okay, that's a fair question. There's a lot of things that a lot of people that are shitty people will look past. and this goes back to what I said at the very beginning of the stream. People can look past being a troll if you're just a dishonest person. But even among the troll community, even among the commentary community, which again, I have nothing against, there's some good and there's some bad there. More bad than good, but there are some good people in the commentary community. If you want to listen to commentary, go check out what's her name? Truth Sleuth. I don't know. AZ is the opposite. AZ is the antithesis. She's the worst comment, in the bad sides of the commentary community. But if you actually want to talk to somebody and listen to somebody who really has a well articulated way of putting out information, go check out Truth Sleuth. Allie, she's amazing. And she's part of the true crime community or the commentary community. But again, as far as like being canceled, one of the things that even they will not put up with is involving kids and putting kids in harm's way. And what UNIRock did, even though he didn't directly put kids in harm's way because there was no actual threat to be had, he made a mother think there was a threat. That is almost just as bad. To bring in Queen Bee and say, look, I need to talk to you. There might be a threat against your family, against you, against your children. To distill that fear into a mother or any parent. It doesn't even have to be a mother. I mean, I'm a father. If somebody came to me and said, hey, your daughter's in danger, I'm going to want to know why. I'm going to want to know details. And he's like, well, come over to my stream and listen, and I'll give you the details. No. I don't listen to 6 hours of him bloviating to find out why my child be in danger. And that's exactly what he did to Queen Bee. That's unforgivable in any community. I think at this point, anybody who associates with UNIRock, any mod that he has, any member that he has, any subscriber that he has, is going to be just as culpable in that as UNIRock. And I'm not asking anybody to unsubscribe. I'm not doing any of that. Do what, that would be, against terms of service. I couldn't care less what you do. Spend your money on idiots. I couldn't care less. But the reality is that anybody who is associating with him is going to have to explain why he lied about this, why he involved Queen Bee and her kids, why he decided to sensationalize this rather than just go, hey, yeah, I got a cease and desist letter from JLR. I'm being persecuted by him. That's what any, good YouTuber worth their salt probably would have done if they wanted to play it up. Right? But that's not what he did. What he did was he involved a pretty large community of people that I don't know any of them from, but most of them do true crime, I guess, or many of them do true crime. And then there's a few dishonest actors like Nonsense. I will call her out explicitly because I think she has absolutely teamed up with Uni and known he's a liar. And I think that her talking about me, not knowing anything about me or anything about the situation, was dishonest. What's that? Came from him, yeah. What do you think she was getting information from? UNIRock and Katie Joy.
Yep.
Everything she knows about me is from other people. She's never talked to me directly. She wouldn't have the balls to. I absolutely told her, hey, I'll talk to you. You want to talk to? She said, I'll talk. I'll have a conversation with Steve. Okay. Next day, no, I don't want to talk to you. You coward. You coward. I'll talk to anybody who's not a troll that I haven't banned before. Once I ban you, you're done. Once you're a troll, you're done. And worse, if you're somebody that I cared about, you're triple done. I won't even mention your name. I won't mention certain people's names ever again. There's a handful of people that you'll never hear me mention their name live. And that means they're worse than UNIRock in some ways, because at least I mentioned UNIRock's name. But the reality is I never cared about UNIRock, right? I mean, he wasn't somebody that I cared about. So there's nothing there for me to not to say I'm not going to use his name. It's a lot different when you actually care about somebody and they screw you over and stab you in the back and then the front and then the back again. That you don't want to really talk about them. So that answers your question about why he's canceled. And again, it's a little hyperbole there because he's a cockroach. He'll find a way. He'll go infiltrate some other community, and hopefully this other community over there will follow him and say, "Hey guys, you might want to check out this guy's past record." In which case, they can find his going after Miss Letitia. They can find him going after Molly Golightly. They can find him going after Leslie Bass. They can find him going after Tina. They can find him going after Aaron. They can find him after me. And then even before me, there was other people that he went after.
Even DeFango didn't like that motherfucker.
Does that answer your question? So is he canceled? For now. Will he rise again like the phoenix? No. Will he more like a dung beetle coming out of a pile of shit? Yeah. Yeah, that's my prediction. He's going to be a little dung beetle that just goes to that pile of shit, and he'll find somebody else to attack. He'll find a brand new target and start talking about that in a matter of a few weeks. He has no choice. He might try to justify this. I have no idea. I don't know what he could possibly say. How can UNIRock, in his infinite wisdom of grifting, because he is a master grifter, even he has limitations. He's not the messiah of grifting. When you go after a mother like Letitia, and then people find out that he lied about the GoFundMe, and then to exacerbate it worse by saying there's a letter that involved Queen Bee and her kids that didn't exist. It wasn't a letter. It was a cease and desist, and it wasn't directed to his mom. It was just mailed to his mom's address for him. Had nothing to do with his mom. He was trying to make it sound like, they JLR mailed a letter to my mom, trying to say what a bad person I am. No. First of all, I'm sure UNIRock's mom knows he's a bad person. If not, she's the worst mother of the year. I'm sure she has to know her son is a piece of shit. Every mother knows these things. Yeah, you know if your child is garbage. You may not want to admit it, but you might still love them. But you know that. There's a member of my family. My family knows it's complete garbage. But you know what they say? Yeah, that's just how she is. Well, I'm like, no, she's a piece of shit. I call her out. And it doesn't matter, the details. It's just that's how families operate. You still love your kids, and I don't begrudge, my parents for loving, members of my family that aren't worth it, but I don't, I don't at all. So, and everybody's got one in their family, right? Everybody has that one person in their family is a piece of shit. That the uncle, the aunt, the brother, the sister, the cousin, it doesn't matter. But that when you have that dinner, at Christmas dinner, that one person that everybody dislikes. If you don't have that in your family, you're very fortunate. But I think that most families have at least that one person that just, that's his Uncle Richard kind of thing, right? Actually, it's funny. I did have an Uncle Richard. I should have said that because I do have an Uncle Richard, and he was the best. I loved my Uncle Richard. That dude was one of the. If I had to pick an all-time favorite uncle, that was my Uncle Richard. He was good guy. And he and KJ Paulson are done. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, do cockroaches work together? Yeah. They usually eat themselves or eat their own kind of stuff, whatever. But yeah, I don't think he and KJ are ever done. They have mutual enemies. I'm a mutual enemy of both of them. And they for some reason think that adage, the enemy of my friend, works on YouTube. It doesn't. The enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. So, Gundez says, real cancellation hardly ever occurs on YouTube. I agree. People tend to forget quickly, and then before canceled victim back, see Shane Dawson. I can't talk tonight, I'm sorry. See Shane Dawson, for example. Yeah, again, they always seem to come back, right? Even people like Creepshow Art try to make a comeback after she did all that to that one girl that she stalked, whatever her name was. See, people tend to forget. I don't remember the name of the girl. That's Emily Artful. I had to think about that. But even Creepshow Art was trying to come back from that. And I'm sorry, if you start doing some shitty things and involve stalking people, you probably don't deserve a place on the internet. I just don't think that you do. Mothers and fathers keep on turning out substandard products. Fair. Rarely says she knows. Onision. Yeah, well, Onision's a good example. He does some pretty despicable stuff. He just keeps coming back. He's being sued left and right, or he's doing suing. I don't know. I don't follow any of that. The only thing I really even knew Onision for was, one, the banana thing that he did. Two, he was friends with somebody that I happen to know that goes by the name of Refrigerator, Billy the Fridge, that was on Drunken Peasants, and he and Onision had a friendship. And then I knew this other girl that knows Onision. Other than that, I've never talked to the man, never wanted to talk to the man. Joey says, okay, I was wondering if he was out of that community. I don't know if he was ever really in that community, but they don't want anything to do with him, from what I understand. I can't speak for them, but I can't imagine them having anything to do with UNIRock. Queen Bee, I don't know her community names. I've only seen Doom over there, who I think is an absolute piece of shit. Nonsense, who I think is an absolute piece of shit. Heels in the Air, who I don't know at all, but people tend to say that they don't like her, but I don't know anything about her, so I can't say anything. Tim, who I know nothing about, and some other names I see over there, but I don't know any of those people are. But if they have a modicum of ethics, yeah, they would be like, we don't want UNIRock around, and I think that's what's going to happen. Again, I'm not speaking for them because it's their community and they can do whatever they want. They might go, UNIRock messed up. Let's re-ingratiate him into the community and see if he apologizes. That might be. You know what? I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it, because if I was Queen Bee, I'd be pissed as shit. That's just, what he did is unforgivable. So I don't think that's going to happen. Possible? Sure. Probable? No. I think they're done with him. If anybody has any information on that, let me know. I don't watch any of their stuff. I watched when Erin went in there, and I didn't know she was going to go on panel, but Erin went on panel to talk to Queen Bee directly, and that's how I found out about this stuff. Yeah, EKC didn't tell me about it. I just had a stream on this prior to Non-sequitur show, and she didn't tell me about anything. Yeah, maybe she didn't know then. I don't know. But yeah, she really didn't tell me anything. So I haven't had time to even talk to her much. What other questions you got? If you guys want to join, do you guys want to enter? If you're not a troll, and Rez was never going to co-host Non-sequitur show. That was never something serious. Rez works too much, and he has no interest in co-hosting. It would have been great. I mean, we bantered it around, but nah. Rez has many other things to do in life. He loves Non-sequitur show, and I adore him dearly, but it just wouldn't be feasible. And I don't want to co-host. I'm done. I'm done with co-host. I just do the show because I find it fun. If people want to watch, great. If they don't, that's fine too. That's all it's for. I work full time. I bust my ass off to provide for myself and to help Kano out. Though she's not, out on the street. We got a place together. We have food. Good food too. I mean, like I said, everything that I make off YouTube literally goes to groceries and beer and food and other stuff. That's all my Gidunk money. Right? The rest, everything else goes to rent and savings and making sure if something happens, we're going to be taken care of, because I'm never going to let Kano be on the street. She's just been too good to me. So, yeah, that's what Non-sequitur is for now. You're paying for my beer. If you're a member, you're paying for my beer, which I barely drink, and then food for us. That's it. That's all I use it for. Is just. I splurge on food. I'm frugal on everything else. Sorry. I feel bad. I really do. I'm frugal as hell on literally just about everything except for certain brands of food. I'm sorry. I will not buy store-bought or store brand things like mayonnaise. I have to go with Miracle Whip or not. Miracle Whip mayonnaise. Yeah. The actual mayonnaise. Real food. Yeah. Real, that stuff. I won't buy, imitation butter, right? I don't buy any of that crap. I have to have real butter. I won't buy imitation cheese. I have to have real cheese. Other things I'll skimp on. Like, for example, I'll get $1 loaf of bread. But if I get bagels, I'm going to go with the fresh made bagels, right? So yes, I probably spend a lot more money on food than I probably should, and why I'm gaining weight. But hey, you know what? You only live once, right? So more information than you guys needed to know, but whatever. I'm hanging out with you guys tonight. Let me pin this. So, yeah. Well, yeah. They wouldn't want to see Red's face, that's for sure. What beer do I like? I like the pale ales a lot. I do like the Indian pale ales. I like just the regular American pale ales. I've been drinking Modelo. Modelo's pretty good. But I really probably prefer the microbrew
harvest wheat ones. Like anything like a Heisenweifen, anything with like wheat beer is so good with a little bit of orange rind in it. Is my favorite. Beer with an orange or at least an orange rind, but usually like a slice of orange. For some reason, a wheat beer blends so well with that. And if it's served cold in a pint glass, it is bar none the best beer you can get. Yeah, no, not Miracle Whip. I'm thinking of a what is it called? Real Food, Best Foods mayonnaise. Yeah, not Miracle Whip. Best Foods mayonnaise. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of beer I drink. And if I really get bored, I'll have like a Pabst Blue Ribbon. But like I said, it's very, very infrequent. The other night's first beer that I've had in ages, I had a Modelo, and I had a the big one is called Bush, and that was the first time I had beer in quite some time. But anyways, we're back on UNIRock. You guys don't care about my beer. Although every super chat I get tonight is going to probably go to beer. I'm just going to tell you right now. You know, and I'll tell you if I go get beer on tomorrow night, because I'll go shopping after work. I'll get some beer for my Coke night or something. Guinness. You see, I don't like Guinness. April, I'm not. I can see why people like Guinness, but Guinness is so stout to me. It's just so heavy. I'm not a big fan of it. It's tasty. I mean, it's got a flavor to it. Don't get me wrong, but I cannot drink Guinness. Modelo Dark is good. Yeah, if I'm gonna drink a dark beer like that, I'm gonna have a Modelo Dark than a Guinness. Mayonnaise supposedly is easy to make. It's just a emulsification of oil and water, mixed with egg yolk. Egg whites. Yeah, so it's basically egg whites, and then oil and water emulsification. But it's so funny. UNIRock is so boring. We'd rather talk about mayonnaise and beer. What does that tell you? But all right, Evan has a request. If possible, get Landon back on to discuss what he's been doing lately. He's great at discussing challenging and complex themes. Landon is incommunicado because he's out of the area, let's just say, for a while. I don't think he's back yet. Landon had to go on hiatus for 4 months, I think, and he wouldn't even be able to check his email. So when he gets back, yeah, I'll get back in touch with Landon, but I know that he went on a hiatus. I don't know if he's back. It is egg yolk. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Corrected myself. It's egg yolk, not egg white. I think I said egg yolk first, but I corrected myself, or incorrected myself. Damn it. I said egg yolk first, and I incorrected myself and said yolk. I said white, but it is egg yolk, oil and water emulsification. Yeah. You are correct, I think. But anyways, what do you want to know about UNIRock? Anybody other got any questions here? I mean, why you think he's canceled? Do you guys think he's canceled? Do you think he's going to come back? Do you think he's going to try to spin this? Because that's what UNIRock does, right? Rarely. You're not invisible. I can see you. Do you want to come on the panel? Did Robert? What? I don't know who Robert is, and I have no idea. I saw your question. I don't know who Robert is. I have no idea. Meat is not a mere condiment; it's a sacrament. Jaren Uterism says, I watched the Non-sequitur show for the flat earth stuff, but I'm over it now. The earth is not flat. This is true. This is very true. Yeah. I got bored with flat earth stuff. The reason being is because it's like pounding your head against a wall, listening to flat earthers even try to remotely explain the most simplest of concepts. So I figure they're stupid or they're a Poe or both. And I can't deal with either. If they're Poe, that means they're lying, and I really have no intention of spending hours of my time trying to convince somebody of something they're not actually convinced of. That's bullshit. Or they're just so stupid they're not going to understand anything you have to explain to them anyways. So again, you're spending your time wasted explaining basic stuff to somebody who lacks the fundamental first grade education to understand simple things. And so I'm so bored with it. Yeah, Jarenism. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I see it. I see that's Jarenism. Yeah. Or it's either Jarenism or somebody that is well aware of Jarenism. Yeah. Why was he canceled? I came in later. Because he had said that his mom was sent a handwritten letter by a guy named JLR. You can look him up. I'm not going to say his name. That was involved in some of the Sandy Hook stuff to go after the friends and families of the victims and file lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits. And he was found criminally liable for some felony convictions. And so he's a convicted felon. But UNIRock got a cease and desist letter from him about some videos, and one of the videos that was mentioned that he wanted to be removed was something that had Queen Bee's name in it. So UNIRock decided to go on stream and tell Queen Bee that he needed to talk to her, that he had been sent a letter to his mom had been sent a letter from JLR threatening Queen Bee and her kids, something along those lines. He said that the letter included her name. He didn't at first feel it was that threatening, but after rereading it, he felt it was more threatening, and he wanted to get in touch with Queen Bee to show her this letter. He then proceeded to tag her on Discord to show her the letter, according to him, but there was no such tag on his end or on Queen Bee's end. So he lied about tagging her. There was never any evidence of a letter or a handwritten letter. It was a cease and desist that wasn't to his mom. It was to him that was mailed to his mom. But of course, like I said, UNIRock tried to involve the content creators to get involved with it because this is what he does. I did see that Bob Nodell died. Yes, I did know that. I did know Antonio Subarez died. We talked about that on Non-sequitur show today. That there have been, a numerous amount of deaths in the flat Earth camp. But the thing with Bob Nodell is he at least demonstrated the Earth was not flat, right? He put his money where his mouth is. I mean, they bought, $15,000, $20,000 worth of stuff and did experiments, and the experiments all proved the Earth was not flat. That's impressive. When you have such conviction that you're willing to put $20,000 on the line to buy an interferometer that's just going to prove to you what we already knew, that's impressive. I give him props for that. So he is a hero. He is a hero of both the flat Earth community and the globe Earth, whatever you want to call them, the normal people. So. He wasn't deplatformed. No, UNIRock wasn't deplatformed, and he's gonna survive. It's just that people are always gonna be remembering what he did more so than what they did to me, because this involved I involved kids. It involved putting a mother in a state of mind where she felt her kids could be in immediate danger. That's not taken lightly by people. I'll know your voice. Okay, well, yeah. If you're a troll I've already banned, then yeah, don't bother. Because if I know your voice, then stay on your alt account. Because alt accounts, I can't police my live chat, right? But if you're on a main account, I recognize your main account. I will. I will remove you. Do you rarely care? Do you want me to tell you? Do you want to tell me who you really are, and I'll tell you? Or if it's somebody that if you tell me, I'm going to block you right away, because you guys know who I'm going to block. You guys know the shitty people I've had to deal with. He hasn't answered. But I know there's a time delay. But anyways, what other questions you got? I'm not going to keep this open much longer. I want to keep this easily digestible. I don't know any of the people listed in his titles. Like I said, I don't follow UNIRock, so all the drama that he's had over the last year with some content creators, I don't know any of these names. I didn't until just recently. I didn't know much about Nonsense until a few months ago, even though 2022 is when she started coming around, and people had been asking me about her, and I'm like, I don't know anything about her. It was like September 2022. I had a person come over and start asking me about Nonsense. I'm like, I have no idea.
I didn't even know who she was.
And I still don't care who she is. Like I said, if she's not honest enough to have a conversation with me, although she talked to EKC tonight. EKC had cojones and went on, the panel of Queen Bee, and Nonsense was there, and they were civil to each other. But Nonsense won't give me the same consideration. She won't ask me questions. I'll answer any question Nonsense has, or none yet. Bring it on. What do you got? But it'll be on this channel. It won't be on theirs because I'm not going to go over to theirs channel just to be fodder. If they want to know anything, they can ask me. They'll step up and ask me like anybody else would. They have no idea how much I have. They have no idea the 700 videos that UNIRock did trying to slander me. Really care. You know me in real life? Interesting. I only know a handful of people in real life, and I don't know. I don't know who would be using that name. Really care. So I may not want to know. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know who really care would be. Yeah, I have no idea who really care could possibly be. But anyways, that's in a nutshell. That basically, UNIRock got caught lying to people like usual, but in this particular case, the lie was of such an egregious nature that even the community that he was in, the people that he was talking to, they even said, we're done. We're done. You've gone beyond what we can find socially acceptable for you to lie about, basically. Booty shots. Queen Bee just showed the letters that were actually sent. It was a cease and desist letter. Correct. Yes. That's what I was just explaining to everybody. It wasn't a letter handwritten. It wasn't a letter threatening anybody. It was a cease and desist letter that was sent to multiple locations so UNIRock would get it. But UNIRock's narrative was, JLR sent a handwritten letter to my mom to talk about him, to I guess explain to his mom why he's such a shit person, which, again, his mom was asked to know. And it happened to have Queen Bee's name in it. Rather than be a cease and desist letter that had Queen Bee's name in it, only because her name was in a link to a video that JLR, I guess, had asked been removed or brought up for some reason. That's not a threatening letter. And it's certainly not a dox. We forgot to even talk about that part. UNIRock was on this train, this persecution porn train for the last couple of days saying, oh, I was doxxed, but nobody cares about that. He sent a letter to my mom. That's doxing. Even the community over there, even the commentary community or whatever the community want to be called over there, they're even like, that's not a dox. Oh my God. Now you've gone off the deep end. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Uni's spiraling. I think he's so wrapped up in his own delusions and he thinks he can get away with everything because that's how Katie Joy operates, that he just overplayed his hand. And again, he might be able to pull it back. He might be able to survive it because he's UNIRock and that's what cockroaches do. But anybody of us who's been around, anyone in the commentary community now knows he's a dishonest piece of shit. And if you keep him around your community, that's what's this shit flies everywhere. Why do you think I didn't want him around?
I don't like him for other reasons.
You should pivot to the Atheist Tube drama. Bob Price got for real canceled. It's a mess. I don't know that Robert Price got canceled. I don't know the full details on that. I just don't remember. I never talked to Robert Price. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he just pass away recently? I think he had cancer, wasn't it? Was it Robert Price that just passed away? Which one was it who had cancer and just passed away? No. His own people said it was too much. Yes, goodness. Of all the lies that he has lied about, this seems to be like the least of his worries. It isn't the least of his worries because he's pissed off the entire commentary group that seemed to have liked Queen Bee, and again, knowing anything about Queen Bee or not knowing anything about Queen Bee, it doesn't matter. The point is that Queen Bee has kids, and as a mother, she was put in a position where she felt there was a letter from a psychopath to UNIRock's mother that somehow involved her and her children in a possibly threatening way. You can't just throw that aside. You can't just move past that. So I think he's done in that community, and I think that he is going to start looking for other communities to invade and other drama to latch onto. But I'll give you the same thing I've always said. If you are a mod of UNIRock, if you're a subscriber of UNIRock, if you're a member of UNIRock, if you in any way enable him, you are condoning his actions. You are co-signing his behavior. You are complicit in everything he's done to people over the last several years. And you're okay with that. And that's perfectly fine. You can do that. I mean, you're a sociopath. We get it. Sociopaths stick together because nobody else wants them around. But think about this. If you're listening to this out there, whoever you are, you're going to be known as a sociopath too. This gives the ability for everybody now to recognize who the sociopaths are. This gives the ability to say, oh, these are the people co-signing UNIRock's behavior. These are the people I'm going to avoid. That's what's going to happen. And like I said, I put Navy Techs in that category because he's signed off on his behaviors for years. All his mods has, except for the mods that left. Many of them left. One of them was in the hangout this morning. Creative Ideas. She left. She realized he was full of crap, and she left. She realized he was dishonest and unethical. She left. So did Moderate Extremist. Good on him. I was so proud of him for that. I mean, he saw the light. And he's not the only one. There's been a lot of, I mean, I was a mod for him too, and I left. But here's the thing though, it didn't take me very long to figure out Uni's game. When you have somebody deliberately lying to their audience and saying, oh, that's okay. They'll believe it. If they don't, who cares? I'll fix it later. This is what he told me. Believe it or not, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Don't ask me for evidence. I don't give a shit. There's other people there. Other people have testified that they heard the exact same thing because they're in the conversation. Believe them, don't believe them. I don't care, but I'm telling you that's what happened. That's what happened. He literally didn't care that he was lying to his audience so long as it generated views, so long as people would give him response videos. And I'm not the only one he's told that to, that he wanted people to make videos to go after him. He'd make a video. They'd make a video. He would lie about them, and they would lie about him, and they'd just build it all up. Blue Apple Pie says that letter just came in time to distract him and nonsense from their fraud narrative after she got pissy and decided to throw him under the bus and deny her own involvement despite wanting credit. That actually I think is spot on. And Blue Apple, I don't know who you are, but your shit has been legit lately. I don't know if you got some inside track. I don't know how close you are to all this stuff because you came out of nowhere. I don't know if I know you. I don't know if you want to be known. But I got to tell you, I've watched your shit and I've listened to what you've said and I read your Twitters, and I can't find fault in fuck all of what you've said so far. And this scares me because usually when somebody's that informed, there's usually more to it. But I think you're exactly right. I think UNIRock and Nonsense were going to get caught with their bullshit about the fraud narrative for Letitia. And so Nonsense said, oh, hey, look, I got to get out from under this before it hits the shit hits the fan. I'm going to throw UNIRock onto the bus, and I'm going to pin it all on him if it comes out. Even though she enabled all that stuff. Because look what happened with Down the Rabbit Hole. She was like, oh, well, I never really, said Letitia was lying or any of that stuff. She's definitely co-signing all the behaviors of all the people that are going after Letitia. No, not temporarily. No, Truth says you're not a sociopath aligning him temporarily. No, we all did for temporarily. Again, I just did it really quickly because it did take very long to figure out he was a piece of shit, right? But I'm just saying that if you align yourself with him after knowing everything you know now, how could you not be a sociopath? Like, legit, explain this to me. Somebody convince me. How could somebody not be a sociopath if they still co-sign his behavior, knowing this is not the only stuff he's done? People are now looking into the stuff he's did with me, with Leslie Bass, with Tina, with Aaron. They're looking into this stuff now more and realizing he's been doing this for years.
It's boring.
Yeah, Gunez, you were there. You were there, supposedly, right? You said, I remember exactly the stream. He wanted you to make you complicit in his lies. Damn, you got angry, Steve. That was iconic. That was the stream that I have in my blog. That's the stream that you're talking about. Is this video here? Late night updates of what UNIRock got wrong. I was livid. I don't get mad very often. I was actually angry. People say, what's so freaking hilarious?
First time I've seen that too.
It's so funny because people always say, "Oh, Steve's getting angry. Steve's getting mad." I'm like, "Oh fuck no! You don't know me if you think that's angry." I was angry in this video. If you want to compare my baseline to how I am when I'm actually angry, go watch that video. Late night updates on what UNIRock got wrong. Very wrong. That actually was anger. I'm not hiding that. I'm not apologizing for it. I was pissed because one, I had been duped because I thought this guy was, just because he was putting out correct information, that he would continue to do so. I didn't realize what a shitty person he was. So that bothered me. Second, he disrespected the shit out of me and other people in my hangout. He would talk over. He would interrupt. He would talk loud. He didn't want to listen to anything anybody was saying. It was very, very annoying. And I literally removed my headphones, which is something I don't think I've ever done prior or since even. But I just removed my headphones and kept talking, so people could see that he was just trying to step on me. And it worked. It worked for a while because, he refuses to let people who know the truth speak. He will not go anywhere where he knows he will not get the ability to kind of control the conversation. And when he does step out of his comfort zone, look what happens. He went on to talk to, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Queen Bee. And he rambled incoherently. What he said made absolutely no sense. It's on Twitter. I tried reading it in my last stream and I couldn't do it. Truth says there was plenty to know by the time you went on a show is the point. There's a lot of different communities, hard to keep track. And that's true too. That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of different communities. And I even said that, look, I didn't know all about the his past when it came to the conspiracy stuff very well. I take the hit for that, sure. But if I recognize that maybe I should have vetted him better, maybe, I shouldn't have been so quick to trust him, other people should acknowledge that as well. And then we can all, move on and sing Kumbaya, right? I don't begrudge somebody who got literally duped by this guy. I don't begrudge somebody who wanted to think the best of him. But once you sign off on his behaviors, you are now part of the problem. I didn't sign off on his behavior. Soon as I found an inkling of his dishonesty, I disassociated myself with him, as I do with anybody that I think is being dishonest to their subscribers. I make it very clear you only have my support until you fuck up and lie to your constituents, lie to your subscribers. You grift. I'm done. No way am I going to be around that. This is why when people accuse me of it, I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. I have evidence upon evidence. I can back everything I fucking say. So this is why they project. This is why UNIRock and Katie Joy Paulson do exactly what they accuse others of, especially Katie Joy. I have even said, the Katie Law. I call it Katie Law. Katie Law is anything Katie Joy has accused somebody of doing, she's probably has done herself. Or I should say has done or probably done. So Katie's Law is if Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball, has accused you of doing something, she either has done it herself or probably has done it herself. You can quote me on that, Katie's Law. And UNIRock got a big playbook from her. He really did. And other people still are using his playbook and Katie Joy's combined. There's a reason why it was called UniJoy. Danger Man says, these stories become so intricate, it's difficult for people to understand. 100%. Absolutely, it's difficult to understand. Because they're not living this as we did. They didn't go through the shit that we did. Right? They didn't have a false restraining order put against them like me and Tina and Little Miss Noble did. They didn't have spending thousands of dollars. $10,000 on legal fees. They didn't have that. You spend $10,000 on legal fees, I guarantee you're going to remember. Right? And that wasn't, mostly due to Uni, but it certainly was due to Katie Joy, who he supported. He was all supporting Katie Joy once I told him I didn't want anything to do with him. And then she started paying him off. And he outright started a lie for her. And people bought into this. And I will tell you right now, if you were ever one of those people that ever thought, one, that I murdered my friend Bullinator, who I loved to death, one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, if you were one of those people that ever thought or ever insinuated that I murdered him, I hope you rot in hell. If you're one of those people that ever thought or insinuated that I ever sexually harassed Katie Joy, you can rot in hell. If you thought that I have ever done anything to a child, you could rot in hell for not just eternity, but ever beyond eternity. There are people that thought these things. Katie Joy, tried to convince people that I, quote, abused her child that I never met. People believe that. They can rot in hell. I don't play these games anymore. I don't need to. I don't care if I get canceled because I just don't care. Once you lose that threat, it doesn't matter anymore because, it has no impact on me. I speak the truth, and I will continue to speak the truth. I have always spoken the truth, and it has come out that I've spoken the truth. And if people like Nonsense wants to team up at UNIRock to try to shit on me, that's her prerogative. But don't think her hands are clean on all that. They're certainly not. Yeah, what about Bull? I miss Bull a lot. And for people who don't know that come over here from the other communities, it was so bad with UNIRock and his shitlords that one of the people that he had been promoting that I've known for some time actually called the coroner that did the autopsy for my friend Bull and tried to convince him that he was murdered. That's sick. That's sick as shit. The coroner had to call the family and let them know, hey, I have this nut job trying to tell me that my findings were wrong, even though he knew they weren't wrong. And it was one big troll. It was one big troll for this one guy that UNIRock supported who literally called the coroner to try to troll the coroner to say that Bull was murdered by me or Reds. If you don't think UNIRock has not sunk low, you don't know UNIRock. This is barely a scratch of all the shit that UNIRock has signed on over the years. A scratch. But this scratch, unfortunately, is in a community that when they get a scratch, they scratch back hard. They're not taking this lightly. So, yeah, I think that's where he messed up. I think that's where he messed up hard because the people that recognized UNIRock's behavior before, yeah, they just thought, hey, look, here's a sociopath and a dishonest piece of shit. But they're like, okay, whatever, we'll just ignore him. And that's what we did. We all got together and said, we're just going to ignore him. You remember the videos on the Great Debate Community? Okay, we're just going to ignore him. And we did for years. I didn't talk about him for a very long time. And that's when he started to find other content. He went to Molly Golightly and started doing the same exact thing to her as he did to me. And to Letitia. Falsely accusing people of doing stuff that he himself probably have done. He falls under Katie's law. But of course, none of them ever mentioned anything about the guy calling the coroner and trying to convince him that he was murdered. There's still people out there. I have tweets out from people that are still going around in live chats that say Bull was murdered. I have still tweets from people that lied and said, oh, Katie Joy filed under Victims Against Violence Act, and that it was so egregious that when she filed her bullshit TRO on me, the judge thought it was so awful that he put it under Violence Against Women's Act. That's all bullshit. The judge never saw anything. There was nothing to see. There's no filing of any kind. And the Violence Against Women's Act had expired. It was 100% a bullshit narrative, and people bought into it. And I have all those screenshots of people saying, oh, it was under, Steve was, found under Violence Against Women's Act. You couldn't even be under Violence Against Women's Act if you never met the person. That's only for domestic violence, people. I never met Katie Joy in real life. I've never been involved with her. Ugh. And so the whole thing was just completely bullshit from start to finish, yet there were people that bought into it. They can rot in hell. Blue Apple says, I heard she lost monetization on Facebook and IG, but that may not be true. It would be good. Who lost monetization? Yeah, by the way, Godless Scummer, I'm not going to remove that, but I don't even want to mention this dude's name, right? I don't want to even give him, I actually am. I actually am. And Jeff, I'm sorry, I love you. I don't even want that guy's name out there. I don't want, because what happened was he put Bull's autopsy report on his webpage. His autopsy report. What a sick fuck is that? I don't need people going over there and seeing that. The family doesn't need that bullshit. So I don't even want to mention his name, how disgusting he is. And even what's funny is the Peter Riley, who wrote an article, 2 articles on the Non-sequitur show on Forbes.com, even he distanced himself from that dude, Jeff. Even he was like, yeah, this guy's lying through his ass off. And he was just realizing he was a shitty person. This is why I'm still friends with Peter Riley, and I have nothing to do with the other guy, right? But I mean, again, the community out there that does all this investigation, how they not find this out? How they not find out that UNIRock was involved in a narrative to frame me for murder? Explain this to me. How did they not investigate and find that UNIRock was in a call to try to frame me for running an atheist sex cult? How did I know about that? Yeah, that was funny. Shut up. Whatever. Why do people keep laughing at that? Like, seriously, man.
Nerd.
Shut.
In the sex code. Come on.
Y'all suck. Y'all suck. It's like, I mentioned atheist sex cult, and people are like, yeah, whatever. Fuck off. All right, the people that actually believed I was an atheist sex cult, you don't have to rot in hell. You're okay. I'm like okay with that to some degree. Let's see here.
I can see myself doing a sex cult.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. But yeah, how did they not find out about that? How did they not find out that Kyle submitted false evidence to a court in a court case? They love court cases. It's a public record that he submitted altered evidence. He got, he was put in jail for domestic abuse, but he stayed in jail because of criminal contempt of court. They didn't care about any of that. That's a story right there. You want to talk about YouTubers that got busted? How much more busted can you get than Kyle Curtis, who was number 6 all-time worst YouTubers on the Creepy Readings list, who was a friend of mine. He did a great job on the video. I mean, this guy beat up his boyfriend, fabricated bank records, fabricated screenshots, and then submitted them to the court as if they were actual evidence. And UNIRock was like, oh, all along going, oh, look, Kyle has all this evidence. When we had found out how he did it all and how he faked it and showed demonstrably, without question, that it was altered evidence, UNIRock didn't care. He didn't care. He was just like, Kyle wouldn't do this. They're lying. Kyle didn't fake anything. Yeah, really? Okay, really? Well, the court seems to disagree with you. And, of course, UNIRock's, oh, Kyle wasn't served properly. Yeah, he was. The court deemed he was. So Navy Techs and UNIRock and all those guys got it all wrong. As Goodess says, frame you for murder is bad. Insinuating to just relatives is friggin' wrong and sick. Exactly. And UNIRock camp signed off on this behavior. I mean, he's the one that actually was out there saying, well, I'm not saying Steve killed Boo, but, possible. He was instigating it. And behind the scenes, he was pushing that narrative. Astronomy Live and Roof did a really great job in exposing Kyle's forgeries. Yes. Very, very excellent jobs. But again, Kyle, UNIRock never apologized to any of that. He never went back and fixed any of his shit. He goes by the adage that time heals all wounds kind of shit, and people forget, and they do. They did forget this. I didn't, and that's why I'm bringing it up now, because the commentary community that's out there, you guys are just seeing the tail end of what we've all experienced over the last 4 years. Before Molly Golightly, before Letitia. Not as older as the QAnon people. I was right after that. That was 2012. I came on the scene in 2013. So, yeah, I've been around a decade, but it's still, there were people around a year or two before me that went through that with UNIRock. So they're even more OG than I am. But I consider myself OG. Especially the fact that I have the bragging rights to say that UNIRock has probably made more videos about me than anybody. Combined. If you combine all the videos he did with Molly Golightly, Letitia, and Leslie, I still don't think they outnumber how many he did with me. And he said absolutely nothing in any of them. I never watched any of them. I saw clips, but everything he said was people were just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "Who's he talking about?" They're like, "Oh, you. What? What?" Yeah, he just come up with the dumbest things off the top of his head, thinking he's trying to
get to me. And it's like, I don't even watch his shit. That's what I didn't understand. Other people did, and they're like, no, you're right, or, you're right, and just kind of sucked up to more. They're like, oh, where's the evidence for this? Oh, there's evidence out there. You have to go look for it. Really? That's where you're going to go with that? Okay. His entire lives are word salad. They're worse than that. They're word salads that are defamatory. He makes no sense, no points. We all ramble. We talk for a very long time, and it's hard not to ramble, and it's hard not to make a statement that's not going to be later on used against you at some point in time. We all realize this. If you're going to be talking publicly, there is going to be people that analyze everything you say, and some things are going to come out incorrect, or it's going to come out jumbled, or just not the way you intended it to be. I get that. But that's all of his lives. That's everything he ever says. I mean, you have to watch 6 hours of content to get maybe 3 lines of content that even remotely make any sense. So, Blue Apple Pie, have you been on panel? I mean, would you be against coming on panel, or you don't want to be known who you are, Blue Apple Pie? I respect either way, by the way. Oh, he does. You don't do lives. Absolutely true, Steve. That's why I don't do lives. So, you don't go on any panels, correct, Blue Apple? But can I'm trying to think I can ask this without asking too much. Is there a way you can tell me how you have such a really sound analysis of any of this stuff without giving away who you are? Because, like I said, I have no idea who you are.
You know how to be an adult. That's what it is.
Well, it's just too spot on. I mean, like I said, it's just there's people that are correct, like Aaron, but even Aaron sometimes can kind of like screw the pooch, or just maybe make some minor errors. I do too many times, right? I make minor errors, but Blue Apple's analysis seems really, really on point. You're okay with the panel? Oh, you're okay with the panel? Do you want to come on? I have the link in the StreamYards. I'd love for you to join me. Seriously, that would be freaking amazing. Will you do that? And while you're doing that, let me see if I can add this here. StreamYards. Yeah, I'll put StreamYards up here. Here we go. Yes, I'm on StreamYards. See you. There we go. And then if people want to join. Yeah, I'm trying to do this in real time. Sorry. There you go. Don't need that. Don't need that.
Oh, shit. Oh, there we go.
Anybody who doesn't know how to use OBS, this is what it looks like behind the scenes, by the way. Cool, right? Under the hood. There we go. That's good enough, isn't it?
Oh, this way.
All right. 2 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. No, by all means. I got questions. I seriously got questions. And by the way, anybody that's over in that community, you're welcome to join as well. Even Nonsense or Nunya. I don't care. I've never talked to them. They're welcome to join. I really don't care. The only people that obviously can't join are there's some people that have been banned from my channel that Aaron allows. There's no way they're ever going to talk to them, because they're the ones that were running the narrative that I killed Bull. They were the ones running the narrative that I had somehow sexually assaulted Katie, and it was put under Violence Against Women's Act, which is an insult to people that actually have had domestic violence. People have actually had sexual harassment. That is such an insult to them, and none of them ever walked it back or apologized to not just me, but to other victims. I'm sorry, but if you use domestic violence as a weapon against me because you wanted to suck up to Uni, how are you any different than Uni? You owe every domestic victim a apology. Oh, that's cool, Goddess. One of these days you do. It's been a while since Jeff joined, so. Tell us what you know, Blue. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm blown away by how well she analyzes things. That's what I'm saying. I went over to her channel, and I follow her on Twitter, and so I was like, damn, this is not a dumb person. Don't spoil it for me, Blue Apple. Be smart. No pressure, Blue Apple. No
This is the night
pressure.
we need rum and coke.
This would have been a good rum and coke night,
Yeah,
but I got to
it
work
would-
early in
it
the
would
morning.
be,
Yeah, I got to work early in the morning. Also, I would have a rum and coke.
You could shut it down and do another one and put rum and coke on it.
I got to work. I got to go to bed here soon.
Ah.
I get up early.
I don't know if I'm gonna pack up my stuff and go camping in the morning, or just stay home. I just want to do something.
I love camping too, but
Yeah, I want to go fishing and stuff tomorrow.
all right. I'm just waiting for 2 minutes here for Blue Apple. Anybody else wants to join? Never been on before. Ooh, wait. Nobody has ever invited Blue Apple Pie on. That seems kind of odd.
He
Yes.
trusts you, or he or she trusts you. Yeah.
That's just odd. I'll be gentle. I
Did
promise.
you tell Alexa what time you want to get up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still waiting, so just let me know. Anything else while we're waiting? You got any other questions? I'm not going to go on my camera today, so sorry. I did earlier today. You don't need to see me.
I can't even get drunk.
I can't get I can't drink.
Adios
Period.
motherfucker got 4 different liquors in it. It didn't even do nothing to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got Kraken up there.
I know. I'd rather drink a beer. Drink some beers.
I made a mixed drink a few months ago, and it was the Kraken rum, triple sec, brandy, with a pina colada mix and orange juice, and it was freaking good. It was good. I ain't gonna front.
Lightweight.
Oh, I only had like what would have had maybe 2 shots in it, and I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was done.
I do double shots of the Kraken.
I'm ashamed to be saying that I'm ex-Navy the way I
Yeah.
so lightweight when it comes to alcohol anymore.
Marines drink more than you do.
I just don't like alcohol that much. I don't know. I used to love it, but
Jack Daniels was
it just
your
affects my
scotch.
stomach.
Yeah.
I love camping. My favorite campground is Four Seasons. Yeah. Look.
I go to is what, $40?
You're almost a glamper though. You're not a full glamper.
No,
You're a
I'm
half
glamper.
glamper.
I
You're not
gotta
a full
have
glamper.
electricity. I
But
gotta have it.
but she's not little. Oh, I'm gonna live in the mountains and be
No.
rugged and hunt and fish for my food and no. She got electricity and stuff.
Yeah.
You think she could go out? Yeah, she's she ain't gonna go. She ain't gonna leave her phone behind.
Oh, I don't mess with my phone when I'm there. I just cut it off.
Yeah,
Make it-
sure.
Yeah. And take this with me, my DVD player. And my
Oh, Chemo, you like the smell? You like the non-sequitur show tonight? Cool. It was not as in depth that I would like to have been. I see Blue Apple here. One sec, Blue Apple. It wasn't in depth as much as I would have liked it to been, but I think it was a really good show to bridge a complex topic with different people that have different views on it. So yes, I thought the non-sec was good tonight. But Blue Apple, I can hear you just fine. This is your first time on a panel? Panel of one. Well, congratulations. I'm honored. I obviously I've never talked to you before. I don't know where you came from, but please, by all means, if you wanted to tell my audience how you got involved in this and why you have a certain degree of insight that seems to be more than the usual watcher, and that's why I'm wanting to talk to you, because what you say is pretty spot on and specific, and it seems to be the case.
About some of the things he said. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I was like, dude, I'm not in that. But then I heard people were coming for her.
Okay, repeat that real quick.
I mean, she's just a mom with 6 kids. I mean, come on. She's going to make some mistakes. She's not the most tech savvy, but that's why we like her.
Yeah,
she's like the mom next door.
Real quick, just to repeat that because it was cut off for a second. You came from the Leslie Bass community.
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so you came from the Leslie Bass community.
It was.
Good.
Yeah, because somebody was coming after her.
And
when we heard that,
was you talking about
we
UNIRock?
came to. We're talking about nonsense.
Talking about nonsense. Okay. Yeah. Which was really odd. Nonsense. I look. I've known Leslie for a very, very long time. Okay. There's some history there, but it's water on the bridge. I have nothing but the best intentions for her. I want her to succeed and do well. And what happened to her family was a complete tragedy. Nonsense doesn't know.
It was.
I'm just gonna be blunt. Nonsense doesn't know fuck all what she's talking about.
Nope.
When it came to Leslie Bass in any way, shape, or form, none.
No,
And even
she doesn't.
even to this day, I don't even have all the answers. But all I do know is that she got shit wrong. Right? That's all I can say. She was wrong.
Yeah.
And it just stirred me because, I was talking to Leslie, behind the scenes for a while. People don't know, we've actually been talking for quite some time. And I was just blown away because I'm like, why is this person going after Leslie? What reasoning do they have? Because that didn't make any sense to me unless it was given to her to go after her by someone else. Katie Joy.
No.
Or UNIRock.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think it was
Okay,
just
go ahead.
that.
I could be wrong.
I think it started with Katie Joy. This whole fundraiser bullshit started with her. But I really do feel like Nonsense. She is like a hater that disguises herself as a drama channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what she does. When you go back and look at her history on Facebook, that's all she did was troll people. That's all she did was, and she's good. She's good at scam busting and all that. I give it to her. She's good. But she needs to keep doing that, not come after people that are just genuinely good people and just like, this is her job, man. Don't tell me you don't go real life and you're trying to get a woman with 6 kids kicked off the internet because you don't fucking like her.
Right. That's
don't
trolling.
be a bitch.
That's trolling. That's
don't
harmful.
be a bitch. Yeah. And I don't want to hear her say, oh, she's not so innocent and she did all these terrible things. Okay. Name me 3 things she's done. She made a mistake about the death hoax. Okay. But you know what? I want to know how come the only people that got that was Leslie, was Molly, and Justin. Have you heard of one other person who actually got that in their inbox?
I don't even know what it really refers to. Like I said, my dealings with Leslie were before that, and like I said, I'm not even going to get into it because it was personal stuff, and it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, I know.
And I have no reason to bring it up. And this is what I think Nonsense was going for. Straight up, I think Nonsense knew there was, stuff that had happened in the past, and she brought up UNIRock, one of his videos, that kind of like had to deal a little bit with what was going on with my super chat raiser with Leslie Bass, and
I heard about that.
Yeah, and so they wanted to bring that up, I think, to kind of open old wounds, yet not realizing that Leslie and I have long since squashed that, and it's not going to be reopened, especially by them, because one thing that Leslie and I both fully agree on is that her sister is an angel. I mean, her sister is amazing. I don't know if you ever talked to her sister. Okay, so
No.
but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard. Flossie's a really nice chick.
Flossie is
Yeah.
wonderful, and I made certain promises and concessions to her because she was so sweet and so kind to me, and I'm going to keep those. And she facilitated.
Right.
This was a while back. She facilitated kind of a go-between between Leslie and I, and ever since then, it's been great, and I appreciate Flossie doing that because that's how Flossie is. She wants people to get along, and I think that Nonsense wanted to try to reopen on that stuff. At the same token, though, she didn't even know she didn't know what there was to reopen though. She didn't even.
She's right
doesn't
now.
know.
Did you just see the video she played?
No.
Did you see the video? She's playing videos from December 19th. Now think about that. Think about that date. I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know
her
about
nephew
this.
died.
Yeah.
He died on the 17th. She's pulling up videos from 2 days later, and she's trying to bring up bullshit and stir shit up.
This is now?
That is fucking
Wait,
sick.
this is now?
That is sick.
This is now?
Yes, she just played December 19th video like 2 days ago.
So, Blue, riddle me this. How is it that Nonsense could sit in a freaking panel with Queen Bee and denounce UNIRock for the shitty things he's done, but she's no different from him? The stuff she's bringing up should not be brought up. Anybody who has a soul, anybody who has a conscience, anybody who has a shred of compassion wouldn't be bringing this stuff up because there's nothing to be gained by it. Nothing.
No, she is the devil.
It does not harm anybody besides innocent people.
She's a terrible person. That's what I'm getting at. She's a terrible person. She has no morals, no ethics. She is morally bankrupt. I'm so tired of seeing her say something, then turn around and the next breath out of her mouth, she contradicts herself.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Aaron pointed out those contradictions as well. It does anger me. It does anger me that I think she wanted to take out UNIRock to become the new UNIRock 2.0 because people that were around back here, we don't have to go into the details, and I'm not going to. I don't even want to go into the details of what we're talking about, the central stuff. And I'm sorry to my audience that doesn't know. It's best that you don't. It has no relevancy to anything.
It just brings up hurt feelings. It brings up hurt feelings, and it brings up things that don't need to be brought up. It's already been taken care of.
It's resolved.
That's the thing. Like, she doesn't understand that, okay, this whole community is kind of like a family, where sometimes we fight and bicker and we get the fuck over it. You know what I mean? We may not be as tight as we were because we might have some little bit hold back, but that's what I'm seeing as an outsider looking in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's just trying to get in there and just start problems. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I mean,
she doesn't even know anything about this. I don't understand. How does she get the time to go back and watch all this shit?
She says she doesn't.
I mean, I don't know who these people are. I don't know about Amber. I don't know Avery. What the fuck is she talking about? Does she ever?
She says she has no time.
How does she take care of her children? She's on lives for 5 hours a day.
Bloop, she says she never has time to look at any of this stuff. She's actually, I've heard her say she doesn't have time to do any real research, and yet she's on stream 6 hours at a time.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Bullshit.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Anytime you hear her say, "Oh, I don't watch them," and the next thing you know, someone says, "Oh yeah," and then she goes, "Oh yeah, I have that clip. I watched that."
You know what's so funny?
Or, "Oh yeah, listen to what she says here."
You know
what the fuck?
I'll tell you something, Blue. It's funny because of all the shitty things that people have done for me, done to me, and all the shitty things that people said. I mean, what happened with Leslie and I wouldn't even be in the top 10. It not even the top 20. It was stupid shit. I admit that, and it hurt. But we got over it as adults, and
move forward.
Comparative to everybody else that have done shitty things, Leslie Bass is a fucking angel compared to nonsense. And
well, that's what I mean.
I mean, we don't have to all agree. Leslie has gone after me for certain
that's
things.
That's what I don't understand.
Whatever, but I mean, we're adults.
I don't get it, Steve. I don't understand how they act like if you sit on a panel with someone one time, you've been adopted by them. I don't understand, but yet it doesn't apply to her and her crew.
Right.
So I'm not quite understanding how that falls, and I don't understand why certain people are tragedy pimps. And I called her out for this. Okay, I did. I put it all out there in a video. She makes money off complaining about people making money. And she supports Rabbit, and Rabbit has made some pretty serious fucking errors in her reporting.
Yes.
And she is monetized, but that's okay. That's okay. But it's only the ones that she doesn't like, and it's because Rabbit... I just found just now, I was looking for something because I was like, you know what, did she actually say that was never a fraud? Let me check it out. Because maybe I missed it. I mean, my perception was that, she was pushing that narrative.
She's rewriting history because she did say it was a fraud. That Letitia was the thing was a fraud.
Well, she did. I mean, I went back and I looked. Anytime I found anything, I listened and I kind of said, okay, because I had some time today. She did. She would say, hey, I'm not saying this is a fraud. I'm not saying it's a fraud. But I just found a freaking panel where she had freaking last year, and she had someone on there who came on anonymously, and it was fucking Nunya.
It's shocking.
I was listening to her. I was like, motherfucker, that is her voice. And I went back and I listened to one of Nunya's when she wasn't ranting, and I was like, that bitch. She went on there to push that narrative.
Shocker. Well, let me ask you this.
Talk
Okay.
about being shady as fuck.
So down the rabbit hole. Okay, so bear with me here because I'm sorry.
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I do, but
Rabbit?
I want to give Rabbit.
No,
yeah, I do, but at the same time,
I can't.
She's pushing the narrative. No, I mean I can't because she kept pushing, and she said she's like unbiased, but yet she was like, oh yeah, I hooked up with nonsense early on. Well, that tells me you're not fucking unbiased, and she hates Molly.
Yep.
And she hates KJ too, but yet she's not a cater. Can you explain that?
Well,
I don't understand what makes certain
I,
people caters.
I'll explain it.
I don't understand.
I'll explain it because I loathe Katie Joy probably worse than anybody on this planet. I loathe her. I detest every fiber of her being. I hate her with such a vile passion. You have no idea, but I'm not a cater. Because the people in the anti-Katie Joy community, I never really got to know very well because I thought they were all exactly like Katie, or at least very similar. They all were like reality TV junkies, and to them, this was all just some kind of reality TV game to them. And so the anti-Katie Joy community, the anti-Katie Joy community, I was never a part of that. Neither was Aaron. Neither one of us are. It's funny. Neither was Tina.
I've been labeled that, and I don't understand why. Because I don't particularly like her. But I don't want to see anybody necessarily lose their platform unless they're breaking terms of service. Now, I've seen her do some crazy shit. And I've seen her now, and I know what she did to you. Okay, now that was fucking bullshit. Okay, I'll tell you that.
And you know,
that
and
was criminal. That wasn't YouTube.
You know.
That wasn't YouTube. That was fucking criminal. What she did to you. Okay, that's not YouTube playing around.
Thank you.
Okay, she went real life. Okay, and that's not cool. And she should have fucking lost her platform for even putting that on there.
I agree.
But as her general, I want to stalk the Duggars. What the fuck? Whatever. Do your shit.
I
But
don't
just,
care. Yeah.
don't go out of bounds.
No, I agree.
Don't play with people's real lives.
The Duggar stuff, I never even watched the show, so I don't even care about any of that.
Well, they're on TV.
Yeah,
What the fuck do they expect?
Yes, public stuff. But I mean, she does go in real life. It was because I mean, my producer helped her. Not even helped. Literally helped start her channel. It was without my producer, she would not have a YouTube channel. Because she, as you know, she got her start on my channel on the Non-sequitur show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Katie Joy started as a co-host on my show. This is how I know Katie
Well, that
Joy.
kind of explains a lot.
You think?
That explains a whole lot.
You didn't read my blog about her Me Tooing me, the whole story behind it? Because I go into great detail.
No, well,
Yeah, great detail.
I heard about the whole. You sexually harassed me, and it was never there. And I'm kind of close to Veda. So since I'm a little closer to Veda, and she has talked to me like in real life.
Yeah, Veda knows all the facts. Veda has.
She filled me in.
I gave her.
And she also filled me in. Yeah, she told me, she's like, no, she goes, none of that shit was real. And I trust her because she's like, look, you can see the lines here, you can see what they did here, and she like has a fucking degree. We're just fucking yahoos on the internet, But that bitch Nunya, she fucking faked a whole set of shit last week.
I've heard. Yeah, I talked to Veda about that too, about Penelope and.
We called her ass out, and now she's pretending it didn't happen.
No, it's bullshit. Nunya, I think, fakes shit. I mean, if she didn't fake it, she just shit has somebody do it for her. But I think that stuff wasn't real. And I know what you're talking about, which is a little bit, off. But
I mean, here's the thing. I understand now why they don't trust our receipts because they manufacture theirs.
Correct. Yeah, and that's the difference.
That is what it's coming from.
My receipts are Katie Joy's own words.
Mine are legit. Mine are legit.
And yeah, so fun fact, when I was doing the Non-sequitur show, my partner had met Katie Joy and wanted her to come on to do a show. She had lied and said that I reached out to her. That wasn't true. It was actually Kyle that actually reached out to her. And I'm like,
such a liar.
Oh, everything she put in the thing was every one of them was a lie. I'm like, this is not what happened. This is not what happened. But long story short, he's like, hey, I'm gonna do this episode on Julie Juice, and we're like, okay. And then he's like, hey, I'm gonna make this sub show called The Smoking Nun, and we're gonna put it on another channel, and I'm just gonna do a spinoff, and you could do a spinoff with your philosophy stuff. And I'm like, yeah, great. This sounds wonderful. They started doing it on the actual show, the actual channel, and I'm like, well, what is this? Why is this not The Smoking Nun on Non-sequitur, as a regular thing when it's you and I kind of, so our show, and I think it was a way to kind of edge me off the show, and Katie, as soon as Kyle stole the show and all the money, which was $60,000. I
read that. Yeah.
She
sided with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she benefited.
She was in the
live
live
chat. Always.
She was in the live chat saying, "Well, I know what Kyle was talking about because Steve sexually harassed me," and everybody stopped and said, "What?" Because this is something that was like, whoa, if this shit's true, we would need to know about it. If it's not, what the fuck are you talking about? And of course, the people that were involved were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Katie?" I mean, Bullard was in every conversation I ever had with that woman. Every conversation I had with that woman online. On air.
She goes completely like off her gourd. I don't know what to say. I mean, they're so outlandish, the shit she comes up with. I don't know how anybody believes anything comes out of her fucking mouth.
Well, that's what happens when you're a pathological liar and you're a sociopath and you're a narcissist. She has to lie to survive. This is how a sociopath works. They have to lie. They don't.
Well, because she lies about even the small things.
Yes.
You're right. When they lie about the little things, you know that they lie about the big things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Dude, she actually
they lie when they don't have to. Yeah.
She actually said in her affidavit that I lived in Minnesota when all this happened.
Oh, I heard Elk River, right? Isn't that what you said a while back?
Yeah, and I don't even
because I was like, my husband's from Minnesota, so I was kind of like, wait a minute, wait, what?
I guarantee you'll see no record of me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never lived in Minnesota, and I don't even know why she would include that in there, because obviously it would be challenged at some point during the court case, right?
Right.
But yeah,
it's crazy.
It's this little shit like that she puts in there for her audience benefit. She knew that obviously that was not going to fly in court, but she wanted to convince her audience for some reason that I lived closer to her, that I was some great existential threat, because she was trying to convince the court that she had to move because I was a threat to her, even though I've never been to her state. This is the narrative she was running.
Yeah, but Steve, it was all she was creating her own content.
Of course she was. So was Bull. I mean,
that's all she was doing.
So was
she was creating her own content.
So was UNIRock.
Yeah, that's what she was doing.
UNIRock creates his own content.
Well, yeah, but
That's what he's doing
he
with
just
this.
goes in circles anyway. No one takes him fucking seriously. He just goes in circles.
Nonsense did until...
No one believes a fucking word.
Nonsense did.
Oh, no, but you know what? She done fucked up. Okay, so that's where I really didn't believe the letter existed. Okay, because she fucked up. She was losing her shit the other night, and I was watching. I was like, whoa. And okay, I don't like Uni. Okay, I don't like him at all. But like when she got doxxed in that live, he was really kind to her. Okay, he was like, look, you need a lawyer. That isn't cool. I know you got your nieces. We'll protect them. We will fundraise for your ass. You can go own them in court, and then you take them to Disney. I remember that. Because people flip the fuck out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, y'all, I mean, and she like was so mean. And she's like, you don't know me and I can handle myself and blah, blah, blah. And that's when she kind of lost her shit. And she was like, yeah, so, and I want the receipts from the fundraiser too. And I was like, wait, what? Hmm? What? And she went, like, she lost her shit and she went too far and then she couldn't dial it back.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when all this shit started and mom and dad were fighting. And then and it was like.
So is that, wait.
We got Rabbit, and I'm like,
Wait, was this the start of the downfall between the non.
Yes, this happened on the 28th.
Okay. See, I didn't follow any of that part. I don't know what was.
Because I was trying to figure out what happened. Mm-hmm. Something happened. I mean, I think you saw my tweet.
I did.
Something happened because her one before, I went to hers and I was like, what happened? Because I don't watch her 5-hour bullshit. I will like scroll through that shit as quick. She does them long so nobody does commentary, by the way. She's not fucking dumb.
I don't doubt that.
I went through it.
But hang on, that's
nothing.
That's the same thing at UNIRock. That's where they have 6-7 hour streams because it's so much harder.
Well, I went to his too. I was like, somebody fucked up somewhere. I went to his. I couldn't find anything there either. Something happened behind the scenes on the 28th. Okay. It caused her to fucking lose her shit because he was really nice to her. And my whole thinking was, what an ungrateful bitch.
Well,
how the fuck
but here's the thing.
Can you bite the hand that fed you like that?
UNIRock is never
even if it's Uni.
Yeah, even UNIRock is never sincere. However,
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it was sincere.
Yeah, but still, she was out of line. Yeah, she was out of line to receive it in that way. Yeah,
that was a video from 2019. That was that December 19th video.
Interesting.
She's pulling shit from like long ago, and she's like, and I'm like, I know you don't have content, bitch, but still. But she was like, totally, she went in there to tear him apart. And I was like, what happened? So, and she says he thinks I'm a liar, and I was like, I didn't hear him call you a liar.
I
but
know
she started this fraud raiser bullshit.
We know she's a liar. We know she's a liar. She's like I
we've
said,
proven it so many times.
She's just as bad as UNIRock. She wants to be 2.0. Veda has all those receipts.
Oh my god.
Everything on
I know. She holds her phone up and she says, "Look, see, I don't bring receipts." Or she'll say, "I already showed them 18 times, so I don't need to show them again." Bitch, I can go back and flip through all your shit, and you didn't show one fucking thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You did not. Holding your phone up is not showing a receipt.
Yeah,
if you're so good at making a video, bitch, upload it.
You know, it's so funny, and I shit you not. I have like bank receipts, right? And I will redact like the lawyer's address because they had said that they didn't want that information out there, and I respected that, right? But it still has a number attached to it, which is a credit card number that goes to my bank account. Which there's a chain of evidence here, right? And so when Veda or Aaron or Tina or anybody else was like, "Hey, you know, can I see what you're talking about so I can at least tell people that I've seen it?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And so I showed all the evidence, right? I showed my bank account. I mean, all the numbers match, all the dates match. It's all evidence, right? There's money coming out of my account, right? And going to my lawyer. And then I put it all on my GoFundMe because they were like, "Oh, we all want to receive the receipts." And my philosophy is, unless you've donated, you're not entitled to fuck all. If you donated, I'll show you anything you want. Anything you want. I don't care. I have no problem with this. Because they wanted to make it hard for me. They wanted to make it difficult for me by people to, coming to me, "Hey, Steve, want to make sure that I went to the right place." Oh, absolutely. And they did. And guess what happened? They're like, "Oh, yeah, cool." Because they had the evidence.
But when Letitia did it,
they didn't.
She put out her shit. The first thing when they saw that, they were like, "Nope, that's not real." And then they were saying, "Okay, it wouldn't say deposit, it would say retainer." And I was like, "Dude, no, that's not so true." Because I myself had to pay a retainer. And I had to pay a part of it because I didn't have it all. And they said it was a deposit. It said it right on the fucking receipt.
They'll try to find any little thing they think they can latch on to. But at the same token, the money came out of my account. And then they're like, well, hang on. It's funny because I have like 4 or 5 credit cards, right? And I use them for different things. The American Express that I use I use for legal stuff, and I want to get hotel points off it. I have an Amazon card that I buy Amazon stuff with. I get 3% cash back and things of that nature. So I have different cards for different things.
Right.
And so, they saw that I was using different cards, and they're like, "Oh, look at Steve. He's paying for Tina's legal fees and all this other stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
And look at the numbers here and this and this. And I swear to you, I never paid
They
for
just
the
make
legal
shit
fees.
up.
Never once, nothing.
No.
And so
They
they're
just make shit
but
up.
this is what Uni was doing. He was making this shit up, going, "Oh, look, you had to GoFundMe and using that money," which was, by the way, a year after the fact. So I'm not sure how the fuck that even worked, because this was a year later. But he's trying to argue that somehow I spent money on Tina's legal fees. No.
I don't think anybody really believes him now. I really, especially now.
Nobody ever had a consequence.
We just, I mean,
his idiot followers, maybe. But
I mean, it is too bad it took so long.
Yeah.
Okay, it is too bad. But I really think that, especially with this letter thing that just came out, and with JLR's, with the representative coming out and saying, "Yeah, no, it's not that what that was."
Yeah, so damn.
And I gotta give some props to EKC, because
Hells yeah.
no one else fucking thought about doing it. Everyone else was talking about it, and they were bitching about it, but nobody actually contacted and said, "Hey, can you give us a statement?"
It would never even cross my mind.
And she got it.
I don't
Me
want
neither.
to.
I don't want to bother nobody.
I don't want to bother
but
Psycho.
I was like, good.
I don't want to bother him
Well,
either,
yeah, I don't need to invite that in my life. Thank
Yeah,
you. It's
I
bad
mean,
enough that I'm
yeah,
coming out
exactly.
against nonsense and Nunya and fucking KJ.
It's like against TOS to use. I'm sorry.
allergies.
To use that for legal funds, right?
Bless you. Yes.
It's against 2S what?
To use GoFundMe for legal funds,
No.
unless it's.
No.
I don't know.
No,
I've seen some other ones on there.
You absolutely could use GoFundMe for legal funds. You cannot use it for criminal charges. Civil's just fine.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was thinking of that egghead guy from Drunken Peasants, because he was trying to bail his wife out with GoFundMe.
I don't know. I don't talk.
For him it's that.
I don't talk to him any longer, because he just went all.
He's just some guy.
Yeah, he went all mental on me, and I'm like, I don't need to deal with this bullshit. So I don't talk to
He
him.
didn't give me the time of day because I didn't have a pussy.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know any of that background. I wasn't here for
that's
that.
irrelevant.
But I don't need to go back. I don't have to go back 2 years like Becky does to fucking figure shit out.
Yeah, I'm still kind of curious.
You don't need to.
Why?
There's millions of people like that on the internet. It's not worth looking into.
But to wrap it up, it's just really funny that only a few people did believe him. But I have all the evidence that I know for a fact I didn't pay a dime for anybody else's lawyer but my own. But you still
I don't think anybody really believes that.
Yeah, but it's so funny. The people that did, the one or two people that did, were trying to and I think Navy Tex was one of them, was really working hard to find any little insignificant thing that they could find to try to claim that was the case. I'm like, God, you people are stupid. I mean, just sincerely stupid, because I knowing for a fact that it wasn't the case, and that they're trying to fabricate a narrative.
Bitch.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. They were trying, Navy Tex is so innocent.
But you know what? Hey, I got news.
What?
I heard that he was switching sides and going to nonsense, and his girl better watch out, because she's hot for him. And I'm telling you that because I'm a girl, and I know it when I hear it.
Does nonsense
we were talking about that behind the scenes. No. She has a thing for him, and his girl better be tightening him down.
A lot of people are saying that. Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I'm a girl. I can pick up on that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's hot for Navy. Mm-hmm.
I'm not doubting that.
And I'm being kind. I'm being nice about it. I won't say what I said. I won't say what I said before, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No,
because he left uni for her. Why?
I don't know. No, I don't think he's left uni. I don't think he can leave uni. He can't leave uni. I mean, he's so ingrained in all co-signing of all uni actions for so long. I don't see how he could.
I don't know.
But tell me more about this video that she's talking about now. I mean, 2019. Again, what?
It was fucking crazy. She just lost her shit. I don't know. She all of a sudden she was just like. Was just everything he said. She was just pulling it apart, and I was like, "What is this about? What happened?"
Is this a uni video that she's doing?
Yeah, she was doing it. Let me look it up on my tablet, because I have my other tablet.
I messaged Veda earlier, but Veda's must have been busy all day today, because I haven't been able to get a hold of her.
I talked to her earlier briefly. I texted her, but back and forth. But I worked, so I was kind of like in between busy. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna find it, because I know I saved it. Because I was like, what is this crazy bitch talking about? What is she doing now? But I mean, something happened. Something happened. That's just I don't know what.
I don't even want to go to her channel. I don't want to even give her a view. I just God.
I hate to. I hate to, but you have to. You have to get. Otherwise,
I get it. No, I'm not.
She talks in fucking circles, and she makes me crazy.
I get it. I just couldn't listen through her shit, man. I couldn't do it.
6 hours is a bit much. I know.
Same thing with Uni. I can't ever listen to them. I have to listen to other people talking about them on their own channels, like little clips at a time.
Clips.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to make a judgment call and say, well, is that taken out of context? Because sometimes things do get taken out of context. And
Did
it's
you
like,
say 6 hours? Was that the length of her shows?
Well, her lives. Okay, I'm looking at them right now. We have a 4-hour from today. We have a 4-hour 2 days ago. We have, let's see, and they're not even in order. Let me see. Let me hit live here. Oh shit!
Man,
yeah, she's like 3 hours, 5 hours.
Right.
Oh, she does it on purpose because that way people won't do commentary on her. Because nobody's going to sit through 5 hours of bullshit.
It's fucking take forever for you to clip anything out of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's finding it is a nightmare, even if you know where it is. That's why software and Chrome extensions is very helpful. But she does it on purpose.
I'm glad any detractors I've had, even if they do really long shows about me, they make it really easy to pick the clips out of it.
Well, I mean, my videos are pretty straight to the point here, so mine are pretty easy to handle here.
I only have like 1 or 2 people who like actually are like what I would consider detractors, and practically nobody knows them, so it's not like a big deal.
I haven't. Well, okay, I'm expecting it, but I'm new, so I try to lay low. I stay in my lane and try to mind my business as much as I can. But obviously, I'm kind of stepping out of that right now.
Yeah, apparently,
okay,
yeah.
This one was.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
This one, okay, it's called Let's Talk About Knee-Jerk Reactions, and it has like Nicolas Cage on it, I think, and it's dated April 30th, and she was losing her fucking shit. And she's just talking shit, and I'm like, what is going on? Why? And I'm going to put on the transcript so I can find.
Was she talking about my boy Nick Cage? I love Nicolas Cage.
No, but she used him like in her, she does shitty thumbnails. She has no skill. She doesn't like have any fun with it. It's just kind of boring.
Nicolas Cage. A lot of what I've seen on the internet is people like defending him as like someone who's actually like very dedicated to his craft. Like people think he's like some kind of joke because he does crappy movies once in a while. He's not. Like,
That's because he has more money than God. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's like Adam Sandler. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He made all his money and he invested it well.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, people give him a lot of crap. He's done some really great movies before.
Yeah, now he just does whatever the fuck he wants. He's got more money than God. He doesn't need to care what people do.
I agree with him. I think you should. Yeah, just do what you want at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to be under anybody's thumb. He just does whatever the hell he wants to do. Okay, I'm trying to find.
He runs Happy Madison, so like he can help out all his friends and like get them all jobs and stuff.
Well, isn't that how
he cares about people he works with?
Yeah, I mean, all those guys that's how they got their start. That whole group of guys. I mean, you see them in all of his movies. My kids, when my son was
David
younger,
Spade, Rob Schneider,
David Spade, all those guys. One of my son's favorite movies was what do you call it? What is it? Happy Madison. That was a good one, but my kids are actually a little older than that. But that was the one where he goes back to school. And he has to do all of his time over again. Is that Happy? What is the fuck is that name of that movie? No, I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's hard.
That was a big one. Yeah, my kids love that shit.
This is turning almost just like
we didn't really.
Big Daddy was like I was just around the right age to really enjoy that.
See, and I'm thinking my oldest is 30, so yeah. So, and my youngest is like a good 10 years apart from that. So we had the whole spectrum in there. Yeah, she's talking about Navy like 50 fucking times in this video.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think she's been really covering for him.
She talked for Navy.
So like, I was like, Navy seems like a really nice guy, and I don't think he's really believing Uni, and co-signing all this stuff. Oh, I think she really does. She knows what he looks like. I mean, What is?
I don't know. I think she's a voice guy because I mean, like when she has Kyle on, Kyle has a really really nice voice. So when you hear him, I automatically go, wait, is he talking? I look at the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because it's something about it catches it, and Navy has that same kind of voice. So I think it's a voice thing for her.
I got it.
Because I don't think anybody's ever seen Navy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Does he sit next to you? Does he do anything? I don't know.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Because I've never seen him or anything.
All I know is if I'd be sickened if she had a thing for Uni. That would be, dear God.
No, I don't think it's anything to do with Uni.
No, I'm just saying.
I think she just went too far, and I think she can't walk it back. And now everybody and that's why I really thought the letter was a distraction. I don't want to be all fucking conspiracy crazy, but to me that seemed like a really good way to distract from the situation that she just fucked up.
I agree. And it's Billy Madison. So, yeah, Billy Madison was a movie. Thank you, April Van Ryan. But yeah, no,
that's it, Billy Madison. Yeah.
No, I was just saying that anybody who has a hots for Uni, you need help.
Well, yeah, that's a whole story there.
But
yeah,
no, I don't know. I think I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. But I think you're right. I think that nonsense is covering for Navy text, and I think that she needs to throw Uni under the bus to distance herself from the whole Letitia thing, because I think UNIRock is going to take the rap for that. I think it's going to be all pinned on him. I think that I
don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either, but I think he's going to try. I think he's going to try.
No, because she has a zillion videos about it. He was late.
Let me ask
you. He was the last one in the door on it.
Let me ask you about something. Why I've got you here? That now I thought about something. So maybe you might have some insight in this. So last year, a content creator came to me by the name of Holding Influencers Accountable. I think she went by the name of Kenzie, if I'm not mistaken. And she wanted some information, about, Katie Joy and some other stuff. And I was happy to discuss it with anybody who comes to me asking me about these situations, right? Well, Nonsense said that she would be fine with having a conversation with me. She's like, hey, Steve, if you ever watch this, I'll have a conversation with you. I'm like, oh, okay. So the next day, I think somebody told me about it or something, and I was just like, oh yeah, hey, Nonsense. Sure, let's. I heard you want to have a talk. Let's talk. I think I even have the instant message I sent her on. I think it was Facebook or something. But I'm like, hey, I heard you want to talk. Let's talk. Almost exactly what I said. And the very next day, she said that she no longer, after learning certain things, she no longer to have a discussion with me. And then the Holding Influencers Accountable went on. It was either her channel or Down the Rabbit Hole, and I don't remember. And this is my poor memory.
They try to set you up, boy.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
They try to set you up.
Absolutely, they try to set.
But she does that. No, this is like her MO. She does that. She'll say, "Oh, Beta, come on my channel. We'll talk," and then she'll be like, "No, never mind. I changed my mind."
Let me finish, because this is you jumped ahead of the punchline because you obviously knew where I was going. Yeah,
I knew she was going to do it.
Yeah,
that's what she does.
I swear to God, I don't know how you figured that out, but yes, you absolutely 100% got that right. So what happened was,
I got that bitch down. I'm telling you, I know what that bitch is going to do. I know what she's going to do next. I know what she's going to do. She's an easy person.
But listen, I didn't give Mackenzie anything I wouldn't have given anybody else. It was all the truth. But Mackenzie went on, and again, it was either Nonsense or Down the Rabbit Hole, just manipulating what the conversation was, and then had the audacity to say that I tried to hack her through Twitter. Through the Twitter DMs.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
I think I heard about that. But everyone was like, that's fucking stupid. You can't do that.
Blew my fucking mind.
Are you dumb?
And then she blocked me.
I'm like the least technical person. That's what I'm saying.
It's just
I can't figure shit out. I can't figure out how to use my tablet. But I can tell you that you can't hack someone through Twitter. I'm not fucking stupid.
How do you think I was feeling when I spent my time sincerely answering the person's question who I thought was...
I'd be pissed.
And then for them to completely bullshit what was the conversation, then say I was hacking them through Twitter, and then block me, and then Nonsense or Down the Rabbit Hole, and again I don't remember which one it was, didn't even ask them about it, didn't even go into detail going, well, how do you know this? They were completely buying off on this.
That's my problem with
I was some kind of evil person, that I did some fucked up shit with UNIRock or Katie Joy, and yes, it was absolutely a setup.
So that's what tells me that KJ is behind it. Because Who hates you more than KJ?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Well, UNIRock maybe, but even then it's questionable.
But no, Nonsense has no history with you, so why the fuck would she care?
No idea. None.
I mean, wasn't she still regurgitating Molly shit?
Yeah.
I mean, she still reads her fucking Patreon posts every day. So I mean, come on. I mean,
bizarre. She stalks her.
She's cyber stalk. She needs to be like, she needs an RO. I've been saying, Vader, push for an RO, man, because she's a fucking whack job, man.
I agree.
She goes too far.
I agree. I mean,
but yeah, it had to be KJ because she's the only person that would care enough to go back and know.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't ever link it to her, so I can't really make that correlation. But I thought to myself,
no,
but hang on. But I thought
we're never going to link anything to KJ.
But hang on,
we're never going to be able to do that.
I thought to myself, who would have sent this person to do this? It had to be either UNIRock or Katie Joy. One or the other. I can't imagine anybody else. So I will ask
Uni's not fucking smart enough to do that,
I'll ask the audience, if anybody remembers this Mackenzie person or Hoarding Influence account of her, and they went to them and they ran the same script, because I heard this person was actually somebody else, and they went under some pseudonyms, which is not surprising.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's funny.
Sure.
It's funny. Yeah. It's not the first time people have come to me and yet got the facts. And it's like, and some people have actually gone, oh, shit. Steve actually does know what the fuck he's talking about, because I keep pretty solid records.
You can't.
But I'm not going to show them everybody.
With reality.
Right.
Okay, I get that not everybody's truth is exactly the same, and that was kind of my thing. Is that okay? Yeah, I understand everybody wants facts and truth, but everybody has their own sense of truth, and it depends on whose truth you're believing. Because I mean, like she, crazy ass nonsense Becky bitch sat there and read a police report the other day, and then she's like, oh, but this has misinformation in it too. Bitch, so where are you why do you think your story is correct?
Right.
What makes your story the fact? Because you're saying the police report's wrong, and it probably is because they're always fucked up.
Police reports always have misinformation. Yeah, they were never always
right. That's what, so. But what makes your facts and where are you getting them that makes them? You're so sure that that's the accurate thing.
I don't think they even understand what facts mean. I mean, when I have,
I really don't. It's all through their lens. It's not through reality.
When I have emails with my attorneys, when I have bank statements, those are hard facts. When I log into my accounts and show people what I'm talking about, that's hard facts. That's receipts. And I bring them. Why do you think I have such loyal people around me? Like, Aaron and Tina, they know. They've seen everything. Vada's seen everything. I
don't say anything unless I can bring up a receipt, okay?
And if
I'm not going to say anything unless I can bring up a receipt. Now, my opinion is Becky's a fucking crazy cypher stalker bitch, okay? Yeah, my opinion.
Mine too.
Okay, now historically, I'm looking at what she's done on Facebook, and people fucking hate her over there, and I really think they ran her off. Because, anybody in this whole CPS thing, fucking bullshit. But if somebody did call, it's from somebody from Facebook.
I wouldn't doubt
because honestly,
and that's another thing.
I don't understand.
These CPS calls.
We don't do that.
No, and
we don't do that.
And but here's another thing.
And we don't know who the fuck she is anyway.
But listen, Katie in one of her drunken IG rants. She
I heard about them.
Yeah, she has many of them, and then she even typed it. But she said she was basically saying that I was getting people to call it CPS on her. That's an outright fucking lie.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, I'm the person who said if you call CPS on somebody and you don't have an actual case, you are shit because you are taking away resources from actual people that may need help. And they were trying. Katie Joy is trying to pin everything. That's
and you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about that. We had this discussion the day about Vaughn and her relationship with him and what goes on with that. I don't go there, and I don't go there because the fact that I have a very unique perspective on it, and I'm not going to judge her for what kind of parent she is. And I've heard her say, I have seen a thing where she says, she has nursing there for him and things like that. That tells me her kid's pretty fucking sick. Okay, I'm just going to say it. He's chronically ill, not like sick. I'm saying he's medically fragile, chronically ill. That is the term.
And I'm completely.
And I'm not gonna bang on her.
You know what You know what I will bang on though. You know what I will judge her being a shitty mother to that child.
I don't know. I can't say what she's doing offline because I don't watch her enough.
She's never
everybody
offline.
has their moment.
She's never offline.
Yeah, I know, but I know, but you know what? It's really. Dude, I forgot my kid's birthday the other day. Okay. So I'm going to go out there and put that publicly because I've been.
Wait till they forget yours.
I cried. I literally cried. Okay, because it wasn't because I didn't know when his birthday was.
Yeah.
It was because I know when his fucking birthday is. It was because time just got away from me, and all of a sudden I was thinking, oh shit, it's coming up, and I signed for something, and I was like, what do you mean today's the 30th? And I was like, I didn't realize we were in April.
Wow.
because I don't like write out the date ever.
Yeah.
My job is all electronic. I don't do anything with dates. So it's like, really? Really? Talk about a shitty mother? That's a fucking shitty mother.
No,
Okay? I'll call myself out
that
right there.
happens.
No.
I certainly
that
hope
is a
they're
shitty
taking care of their kid if they're in like a fragile state like that.
Well, he has nursing, and she said he has nursing. I've seen that. I've seen clips. People want to bag on her all the time. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it because
and
honestly, in that situation with a child like that, you don't know until you're there. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just going to put it like that. You don't know till you're there.
at my age, I forget.
And I really feel like the internet
I'm not going to judge. I don't know their circumstances either.
I forget my own birthday half the
No,
time.
I mean. That for her
As
to
Keenan
sit there
Waki
and like
said.
that might have started as her getaway. Getaway. She needed like to get away, and I get it.
Let's bring it
But
back
yeah,
around.
no,
because
I'm not going to judge another mother like that because I'm a shitty mother for doing that. And mind you, let's make this clear. I don't have like a minor, like it's not a minor child. I would never forget a minor child, but he's like an adult child. Okay, so let's put that out there.
Well,
Of course, it was the one that still lives with me, but that's okay. That's okay.
But Blue Apple, I do have a minor child. She turns 18 in a couple months. But as a minor child, Uni signed off on behaviors of people taking my daughter's pictures and manipulated them, and she signed off.
That's not okay.
And he signed off on people.
That's not okay.
Listen, a person made a fake account pretending to be my daughter on Twitter, saying that her dad did all these ungodly things
That's
to her.
disgusting. You don't have to go any further.
Yeah,
That's just wrong.
And literally,
That's criminal.
I told her mom about all this, right? Because I think her mom needs to know these things. We have a great rapport.
Her mom does need to know because these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, no,
Steve.
and her mom, and again, this is the reaction they wanted because her mom lost her shit about them. She's like, "Who the fuck are these people?" She was livid because she knows me very well. Obviously, I mean, we have a kid together, and it's just sick. And yet, you didn't see, not you specifically, but people didn't see.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Did your wife hold you responsible because of what you did on the internet that might have caused it?
Well, she's my.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, did that go through her
No,
head?
no, she's my ex-girlfriend.
And
No,
say-
not at all. No, she realized that. She realized that
She was able to recognize they're just batshit crazy. Okay. Just want to be sure.
All she asked me to do was remove any hint of where our daughter lives, which I made sure was the case.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But but again, UNIRock was signing off on all these behaviors. These were all the trolls coming around that he was fostering to do all this. And of course, he'll always say, "Oh, I won't."
And he's got kids.
I don't accept any of that stuff.
He's got kids, man. That's not cool.
He was thriving on this shit because he was promoting this hate train where he would rile up the sickest fucks, and they would do this kind of shit.
You know what, though? I really believe that he and Molly are similar in some ways, okay? Now, I'm not a big Molly fan, but she's just not for me.
Yeah,
I don't agree with her behavior. I don't co-sign any of that bullshit.
I do agree.
I don't like how... But I also think that, okay, that cannot be who she really is. She is playing a character.
Yeah.
This is the Molly show when she's on YouTube. That is not who she really is, because let me tell you why I know.
Mm-hmm.
If she was running that B&B out of her house, okay, her Airbnb bullshit, she has a 5-star review. There's no fucking way I would walk into that house and hear her rant and raving and not leave her a fucking bad review, okay? And she has a 5-star review. So that means whoever came in the house, they knew what was going on. They knew she was playing a part. They knew it was completely cool.
Yeah, you gotta remember.
Because that's not normal.
But
that's not fucking, you know what I'm saying?
She literally lives reality TV. She was on
But
Wife
that's what I'm saying.
Swap. So yeah, I think her entire life.
Exactly.
I think her
Everybody
entire life
knows
is
it's
a
a
show.
character.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I mean, everybody... And you can't tell me that the whole ID bullshit that person, she knew what was going on. She knew what was going down. It was a total show.
That was all a total show.
And I think Uni does the same thing. He puts on a show. He's a character, and I don't think he realizes that although he's playing a character, some of these whack jobs out there, they aren't. They're really fucking fucked up.
Oh yeah,
and they're really like they're dangerous.
Absolutely.
And I don't think he understands that.
But I think UNIRock is.
I understand being a performance artist, but you have to understand like your position that you're offering, and like you have to be able to separate it.
I agree that
like effectively and honestly.
I think UNIRock does some form of performance art, but I also think that he is his own character. He's become his character.
Like Johnny Carson did performance art, but he wasn't an asshole about it.
But he wasn't a sociopath either.
Yeah.
UNIRock is a sociopath, and so he doesn't care if he
you
comes
know,
on to people.
I don't think he even realized that these people are going too far. I don't think that he realizes that people are really doing this in like real life.
There's nothing too far for him.
Can't, though.
But there's nothing too far for him.
Well, he has to know.
Of course, look what he did to Queen Bee. He went too far, and this is him doing it.
Oh God.
So he doesn't care if the people go too
did
far.
you hear him backpedaling?
No.
He did what he always does.
What?
Once he gets on panel with those people, just like he did on Molly, I mean, he might as well just go ahead and suck their dick. Seriously.
What was the backpedaling? Wait. Is this new backpedaling?
He just went on there the other night, trying to explain to her why.
What happened today after it came out that he lied conclusively that he lied?
Oh, I haven't seen anything. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
I like caught Aaron's thing, and I was just like, holy shit.
Blue, will you do?
I knew it was kind of like not legit. I tweeted it, but that's it.
For Tau Software and who else out there? Somebody else wanted a recap. Oh yeah, GeoStreamer. Can you kind of basically do a quick recap on the letter?
Letter thing?
And then
sure.
Basically what do this. Do a recap for me while I get some water. What Uni said
sure.
in the hangouts, his claims, and then what we found out that we had the actual truth.
Okay. I got that. Okay. So what basically happened was that Uni came on his live. He said he wasn't scheduled to, but he did. He got this letter in the mail. His mom, apparently, it came to his mom's address. He kept insisting he doesn't live with his mom. He lives far away. He had to go drive, blah, blah, blah. So, but he didn't have the letter with him. He didn't have a picture of the letter, which is kind of fucking stupid, so no one believed it was real. And then he made the story about how she was going to file a police report. His brother needed to take her and all this other bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so meanwhile, he says it was a threatening letter, and he said Queen Bee was mentioned, along with a few other creators. But he didn't elaborate. To me, I didn't feel like he was saying that Queen Bee was threatened. Okay, but anyway, it kind of set it up. The internet was fucking crazy.
He didn't initially, but then he said he reread the letter and
he kind of backtracked it. And he's like, no, it was addressed to my mom, and it wasn't really a threat to her, and blah blah blah.
The first time, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Queen Bee was like, well, what the fuck do you mean? I got kids here. What do you mean? Why did you not come to me? Why did you go live and nonsense? Everybody else chimed in. That's not, you put safety before your content, blah blah blah.
And she's right.
They kind of overreacted a little bit though, okay? Because honestly, I didn't get the impression it was all that threatening because it went to his fucking mom. It wasn't even addressed to him.
Not initially, but he did make it sound worse later on.
But the feel. I didn't feel like it was threatening. But if it were me, I would have wanted to know. Yeah. I would have wanted to know.
Yeah.
He should have gone to them. Yeah.
As an alcoholic, I am just going to guess, and I don't want to project. Do I smell whiskey in the air? What's going on with these fucking people?
No, they're not.
Not with me, because I don't drink. But
not with you guys.
With them, maybe. Well, I don't know, but like her panel kind of went crazy.
I certainly hope not. They all have kids.
Well, I don't watch them. I just catch it every once in a while, and I'm not really interested in what's going on with them, so I don't really tune in very much. But I wanted to hear that because I was like, she's gonna tear him a new one. So I kind of like caught that, and then I caught him on her panel trying to explain that no, and he was live, and they were like, "Are you streaming?" He was like, "Well, yeah, but so are you." And it's like, "Bitch, of course I'm fucking streaming live because I invited you on my panel." It was really kind of rude. He was streaming pics.
I don't know if you ever heard this in a slight detour. I'm sorry, but Godless Brothers stuff is funny. So, true story. On Twitter, William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, had retweeted one of my tweets. And UNIRock tried to get in on the action and just started bitching to him about me. And Shatner's like, I don't know who the fuck this person is. I retweet a lot of people, and people were like, oh well, UNIRock. He said he had an interview with you scheduled, and he's like, hey YouTube, who the fuck is this guy? UNIRock. I've never been on. I'm not going on his show because he tried to make a video saying that he was going to be interviewing William Shatner about me.
He did the same thing with Dre.
I swear to God.
He said, I'm going to interview Dre.
Yeah,
he never did.
It was complete bullshit. And
he just talks out of that.
But Shatner wanted YouTube to look into him because he was like, "Why are you using my name for that? I don't fucking go on your show."
Stalker.
I don't know how he didn't violate terms of service on that, but that's okay. But go ahead.
No, you don't fuck around with.
I mean, like you can talk to Shatner on like Cameo and stuff like that, but like he's not like an interview guy.
I don't even does Cameo, does he?
Well, he's old now.
I think he does sometimes, like for people that he likes.
He's 94.
Yeah, he's pretty old. He was good for his age, though.
He's 91 or 90.
But I Okay, now you want to. Okay, I have y'all seen what's his name? Led Zeppelin. You know who I'm talking about? Lead singer.
Robert Plant.
When's the last time you guys saw him? Like a picture?
I don't know.
Oh, he's looking rough. Last time I looked at him.
Yeah. You want to ruin your whole day? Go Google him. That'll just fuck you up right now.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's a nightmare.
Well, how about Keith Richards?
Yeah, I know. I told my husband. I said, baby, do you know Van Halen came out 40 years ago? Next year, and he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I said, we are old. Van Halen, 1984, came out 40 years ago.
Damn.
I was like, that. See, when you think back 40 years, you don't think like that. You think it's like, oh, you're thinking, oh, that's like, not too long ago.
Yeah, Stairway to Heaven.
It's fucking a long time ago.
Stairway to Heaven came out a year, like not even a year after I was born, or maybe it was a year. It's like
that's what I'm saying. But my husband was watching an interview with him on something. I don't know what it was. He watches. It might have been. Was it with David Letterman? Maybe, I don't know. But he was watching that David Letterman thing where he does like the interviews with people, and he was like, did you see this? And I was like, who the fuck's that? And he was like, that's Robert Plant. And I was like, what the fuck?
Didn't age well.
I was like, you just ruined my whole damn day.
That's not Robert. That's a mummy.
I was like, yeah,
he's living
it
a hard
ruined
life,
my
dude.
day. It totally ruined it.
He's had a
It
hard
ruined it.
life.
I said, I don't need to go. I won't go to any concerts anymore. I told him, I said, we saw Aerosmith. The last time we saw him, he was looking like fucking Jack Sparrow. I'm out. That's it. I'm out.
Do you know how much?
I was like, I can't.
Do you know how much alcohol Robert Plant has probably had in his life?
I'm surprised he's still alive.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So continue on. So back with this letter real quick. So he was instead of letting Queen Bee know that he had some kind of handwritten letter from a psychopath, he decided.
Handwritten.
Yeah, handwritten.
Keep that in mind. Handwritten.
He wanted them to go over and watch his video for 6 hours because this is how he operates. He wants people to go over for clicks and views rather than just show Queen Bee what he was talking about. And Queen Bee had every right to be upset by that. 100%.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. All right, so continue on.
Because the way he presented it, you're absolutely right. But then he like doubled back and he was like, okay, letter number 2 came today. I saw that. I saw like, what the hell? That was like on Twitter. But y'all gave me such a hard time that I'm not going to tell y'all about it.
Well,
and then doxing
right?
is wrong unless it's me. I mean, that wasn't fucking doxing, dude. I'm sorry, but it wasn't.
Nobody thinks it was doxing. I would love for Navy Techs to argue that was doxing. Good luck with that, dude. Good luck.
Okay, so I have a really I hear a lot of people talk about the terms doxing, and I get really kind of concerned because I feel like there's not a uniform like definition. And if I hear Becky try to define things out of Urban Dictionary one more time, I'm going to freak the fuck out because she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. But doxing to me is when you take someone's information, even if it's available by a FOIA. I don't care. If it's not, if it is not, well, and I don't even care if it's to cause harm. Because sometimes it's very subtle, but it's still to cause harm, and that's subjective. Mm-hmm. If you're putting information that hasn't already been on the internet, you are doxing someone as like personal information. Their name, their first name, their middle name, their fucking address. I don't care. Their kids' names. That is fucking doxing. Okay, but if it's available by a FOIA.
It really depends on the scenario. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I never watched his videos really. The Boogie 299 guy. Someone put out a hit on him for $5,000 on the dark web. Like that's when it gets dangerous.
Yeah, well, Boogie's going to be in. I guess he has a fight. Who's he fighting? He's fighting. He has a scheduled fight with somebody.
I don't really know much about him. He's always been nice to me.
Yeah, Boogie's been nice to me. But
I'm not going there. No, I'll stay in my lane. No, y'all go ahead.
I never had a problem with Boogie. I mean, I never really talked to him, but I mean, he knows who I am.
I don't need to be in that world. No.
No worries.
Nope.
All right, go ahead. Continue on.
I just kind of assume he's like, I think he does like gaming or something like that. Like he's a pretty innocuous character. He's not trying to hurt anybody.
Well, obviously, Blue doesn't.
Yeah, but you still can't put people's information out. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool.
No, I agree.
No, and definitely don't put hits out on people.
Yeah, that's bad too, right?
Well, that's a whole different level of doxing right there.
Yeah,
okay, I was kind of even like not okay when Molly was like put out a bounty for nonsense information. I really kind of wasn't okay with that. Even though I understood, and she made it clear she was getting it to get an RO. You know what I mean? But she never did get the RO, so I feel like you probably should have gone ahead and followed through with that.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, but again, people.
But I mean, but
here's the thing:
they're doing it.
UNIRock uses doxing.
They're pulling this.
Look at UNIRock uses.
I know he does. He does.
He uses doxing as a weapon for persecution.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his cronies love to dox people. I mean, look at Katie Joy. She's queen of doxing.
So does nonsense.
And I guess not.
She does that all the time.
Did she dox Penelope?
Okay, so yeah, she technically did, but at the same time, okay, and then she got mad because Penelope turned around and like, she just gave her first name, okay? So I don't really, I don't love it, but it's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then she, like, I've heard the clips where she was like, yeah, Penelope, so I have your information. Yeah, I could drop hints. And yeah, and then just the other day she was like, yeah, and I put it in a title and I left one letter out. So I guess she knew it was actually, I had her information. I was like, bitch, you just told everybody her fucking last name again.
Yeah, that's...
You know, and so then she got mad because Penelope doxed her because she's like, I got tired of her holding my information over my head for 2 months.
Well, you got,
and then like dropping hints.
I don't blame.
And I don't either. And I told her, I was like, no, you did okay. You did okay because you know what, you can't take that threat. But Becky does that to everybody. Oh, I had this information. She thinks she's so fucking important.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, you know what? If you have, why are you looking for it unless you're going to use it? And then the other day she said the same thing. She's like, well, I just collect information until people, till they mess with me. And I'm like,
don't know shit about me.
That is a hater. That is a troll.
That's a sick person.
I can't believe her name's really Becky.
That's a sick person.
It fits. It fucking fits.
It's such a sick person.
Okay, she doxed her own middle name not too long ago, and I was like, damn, you're dumb.
Oh, hey,
and it's unusual.
Hey,
it's an unusual name.
You,
like,
don't want to do that. Someone's going to be filing you as a dependent on their taxes or something if you're not careful.
Bitch, I was like, they're going to find you. I was like, that's it. I said, if your information wasn't already out, they're going to find you now.
Blue, you remember this? God, this reminded me of this. There was a narrative from UNIRock that I had sent people to go do a drive-by shooting to Kyle's house.
No, I'm afraid I missed that one.
Are you Al Capone all of a sudden?
I wasn't here for any of that.
Clearly,
no, I wasn't here for any of that. I heard like secondhand, like the rundown of kind of what went on, but I didn't hear the details. No, but we all know that's bullshit.
By the way, no offense, you're yelling into the mic and people are like covering their ears.
I'm sorry.
Yes, fine. Just
I'm sorry.
Put the mic like 6 inches away.
It's because my mic.
Yeah.
It's because my mic is on my headphones. Here, let me move it here.
Yeah,
that'll help. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That was
better.
Yes, that was a real narrative that. And it was come to find out that UNIRock lied about the whole incident as well, saying there was a police report and there was a shooting. It was a car backfiring. Kyle never said anything about anybody shooting at him or his mom's place. Because here's a fun fact: the narrative was it was where Kyle was living with his boyfriend at this time. He was living with his mom.
His boyfriend that he beat up.
Yeah, but this wasn't at that time. He was at his mom's address. But he was at he was with Ben, I think, at the time of the shooting, because I remember thinking, was Ben hurt or anything like that if there was a shooting. But fun fact, there was never any shooting. Kyle never said there was any shooting. But UNIRock was spinning this, going, yeah, Steve probably sent some people over to go shoot up Kyle's house, and yeah, no, swear to God, this is what UNIRock does. This is why I look at nonsense and everybody over in that community going, what the fuck? How do you not know about UNIRock?
Man,
he's been doing this shit for years.
That's some juvenile nonsense too. It's like, yeah, Steve's coming by in his jalopy with a bunch of Tommy guns and his goons.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You can't do that.
My audience, like Goddess Scummer, he didn't forget that. They remember this shit very well because UNIRock did do all this stuff. He lied about me so many times to try to make some weird false narrative about me that like I said, I murdered, not only just murdered Bull, but I was trying to kill Kyle too. And people bought into this, and I was like, God, Jesus Christ, what? Like I usually say, what am I, Al Capone?
Like, I know, it's like, come on, dude. Like, first of all, anyone who really is intending to kill you, it's not going to be illustrated like that. You're not going to see it coming if they really intend to. But that's nonsense. But this is which is ironic because we're talking about one of the people's name is nonsense.
Yeah, but this is why the content community, I'm sorry, but I feel for them. At the same token, there was just so much out there about Uni prior to this. They should have, if they would have done the due diligence and just asked me or Aaron or Tina, they would have got a shit ton of information. We have it all. Nonsense didn't give a shit to ask me about anything, which means that she, I think, was complicit.
No. Her that was her intent, though. I agree. She knew.
I agree.
Do you really think she didn't know who Uni was? She did.
I agree.
She did. She was going to go on the side of the morally bankrupt people.
Yep. I 100% agree with you on that.
Because no one else would accept her.
I learned that.
She came up here and she tried, and no one would take her.
I learned that right off the bat, when the way she said she didn't want to talk to me after offering, I was like, "Oh, bitch, you are so dishonest. You are so dishonest. You didn't think I was going to call your bluff, bitch, did you?"
No, that was a ploy. That was her. That was the same thing like when she went on and said, I'm not going to read Molly's Patreon anymore, or I'm not going to post it because it's not my job to be your messenger. I was like, bitch, you're still fucking reading it out loud.
Yeah.
You're still her messenger. I was like, and it was copyright. You can't post it. You're just lying.
It's just honest.
I mean,
it's so
like, this whole thing would be juicier if we actually had like footage of Steve, like, you know, with a mask, like sneaking up with a Mac 10 on these people or something.
But Barat, there is somebody with my face as a mask that they use to cook and sleep in. There's somebody that wore my face for video tube things, you know, and then
okay, yeah, that's not creepy.
I
could deep fake you onto anything, you can do that to anyone now.
Listen to me. This was not a deep fake. They printed my fucking face on a printer, put a little piece of rubber band on it, and wore it on their face to cook in. I am not making this shit up.
You know
damn it! I could do better than that. I could deep fake everyone in here right now.
Photos, okay? I have the fucking photos still. This is no joke.
Okay, you know what?
But this
I guess imitation is the best flattery. Is that what that is? I don't know.
But
that's kind of fucked up.
Flattery.
This person lived in the UK, but if they were living in my area, do you not realize how?
Thank God.
I would have gotten my concealed carry. That's scary shit.
That's a fucking police report.
Yeah.
That's a police report.
So I've had some seriously deranged people, you know, in my life, including, like I said, UNIRock and those who thought that I, you know, murdered my friend. They are sick, twisted people. And
these people, they have no bounds.
And I think
they are morally bankrupt.
And I think that you're right but nonsense can only go with the morally bankrupt people because nobody else would want her. But then again, she's hanging out.
That's what I'm saying. She tried.
She's hanging out.
Murder is like a really serious claim. Like
they don't care.
If you make that claim enough, like the feds are going to catch up.
She did. Okay, so in the beginning, she did. She said she was all over Dre. She didn't actually say she tried to kill her husband, but I mean, if you go back to her Facebook post and you know where to look for them, they're still up.
Nonsense.
She said all of them.
I mean,
she talked shit about her up and down, and now she's like, and people, they brought it to social media, and it wasn't a story. Bitch, you brought it to social media.
But she got all that from Katie Joy. Katie Joy was one that pushed that bullshit. Katie Joy
it was all over the fucking place.
Yeah, but
man, that's not good because
she just never accepted her responsibility.
When a pop squad's really coming for you, like that's different. Like when it's serious, like it's like don't distract the cops with this shit.
That's what I thought was like really bad. It's one thing, okay, but you know what though? Okay, here's a really good example. Cops aren't always up on what's going on, like all the way around. They're busy doing their jobs. You know what I mean? They don't know what's going on. There was that story about that crazy chick who killed her kid, Lacey Spears. Well, when the cops were interviewing one of her friends, she happened to be a nurse. And he was like, yeah, we don't have any proof. And she's like, well, don't you have the video? And he was like, what video? Because he didn't realize that the equipment that the kid was using was on video. So you kind of need someone sometimes to be like, oh, hey, you know, there's this piece of the puzzle you're missing, and here it is. And they don't know what they don't know. So I can understand someone saying, hey, you know, go back and look at her videos, man. But providing like clips of them, that's not going to do anything. Just send them to her fucking website.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
So another
because
thing
clips, they could be doctored. You know.
Another thing that got brought up. They did doctor one video. They doctored Molly video. You know, but let me ask.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Let me ask you this. So one of the things that Nonsense had brought up was vet bashing. And Peter Harrington, who's a really great guy, been around.
Yeah, she's a fucking expert, right?
Great, he's been around for very long time. He said, would it be a lie to use your cousin's story about going to Afghanistan as yours, asking for a friend? And what he's referring to, I think, is okay. So UNIRock, I believe that he served, and I do believe that he was discharged, whether it be general or honorably, I do not know, but it was a medical discharge of some kind.
There's all kinds of jobs in the military they could have been doing.
Yeah, but he has.
I don't care.
But listen, I do care because I'm an ex-vet. And he claimed that me questioning his stories because he has 3 conflicting stories is vet bashing. It is not.
It is not.
I spent 6 years in the Navy, E6, 3 tours in the Gulf.
It is not.
Gulf Storm, Desert Storm, and Desert Shield. I have every right to call out somebody I believe is fucking full of shit. Here's his 3 stories. They are incongruent with each other. He said he was injured in a helo training accident. Then later on, he said he was injured in a Iraqi vehicle for IED. Then he said it was in Afghanistan and injured with an IED. These are 3 very different scenarios.
Oh boy, yeah, that's it. What next? Were they in buds?
It
See,
was
I
in
don't know
buds.
anything about that.
Well, I do, and I can tell you those are not compatible stories.
Well, I mean, and I agree with you. And okay, now I've been on LB enough to watch when her and Sean were talking about that, and I did see like she brought up his what is it, DD14 or something?
DD214, which we don't know if it's actually his or not. Yeah, it could be, but it doesn't.
That's what
matter.
I'm saying, and it didn't mesh.
Yeah.
It didn't mesh, and his stories did not mesh to that. And you know, and like I definitely trust what Sean says, you know, for sure, because like he was fucking there.
Sean hates him. Sean hates UNIRock with a passion.
He has every reason to hate him because he's gunning for his fucking family.
Yeah.
And Uni better hope that Sean never meets him in a fucking alley.
Oh, that would be
because that'll be a fucking problem.
Can we make that happen?
I'm definitely very angered by the stolen valor people because everyone
That's
that I
what
know,
I feel it is.
everyone that I know that came back, they're fucked up forever.
Oh, thanks.
So like it's like don't take away their hurt.
You know what's
Okay, so you know what? I agree.
I'll tell you this.
I agree. I think it is stolen valor. I don't think it is even about vet bashing.
It is stolen valor.
Questioning him is not vet bashing. It is stolen valor because he's trying to acclimate himself in that situation, and but I don't know that he was there because the stories don't mesh, like you said. The medals don't mesh. Nothing meshes.
All my medals.
But
in fact, I have medals.
I don't want to.
I have medals that I didn't even.
I don't want to.
I didn't even put in for it. I could because my ship got them, and they were given after the fact. I didn't even know that my ship earned certain medals, like the Kuwaiti Liberation Medal. I should have. I don't have it. But you know, I will tell you this.
Wait, what medal? What medal did you just say that you should have that you don't have?
Kuwaiti Liberation. There's 4 different versions. The one my ship got was like the lowest, but it still counts. But I also have the.
But did you get one at all for that?
No, it was awarded.
Okay,
it was awarded after.
But then
I got
that's
out.
a problem. We have a problem.
Why?
Because that is the medal that Sean was saying that everyone should have gotten. If they stepped foot over there, they had it, right?
No, you're misunderstanding. My ship was awarded it, but I had already left the Navy, so I would have to put in what's called a DD215 to get it.
Yeah, but okay. I get it. Because I was going to say, because that would kind of negate his old excuse, like he doesn't have it, and you're why don't you have it?
I was 13. I was.
But had you been on the ship, you would have had it during that time.
Yeah,
I get it. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, listen, I was 13.
That could solve our whole problem.
I was 13 miles off the coast of Kuwait. Okay, so yes, I saw the oil fields burn. I did get these.
Right, so you earned the medal.
Yeah, and I just didn't put in for it because again, I didn't find out till after the fact that the ship we got it as the ship as a whole. Because
I got it.
Yeah. And anyways, long story short, though, anybody who serves, I have the respect for until they lose their honor.
Me too.
And it does change you. Military changes you. You don't come out the military the same person you went in with. It doesn't matter whether you saw combat or not. I mean, it's still. I mean, we didn't see any really major action, but we were in a combat zone. We got combat pay. We had Iraqi fighters flying around. We had possible missile inbound. Because our whole job was to take.
You were under a high stress environment, 24/7.
We were general quarters.
That is just. I mean,
days.
it is what it is. I mean, you didn't have to be like stepping foot on the ground. You were still in that environment.
I would never want to do it
and
again.
you deserve the exact same treatment as everybody else.
There's a lot of horrible jobs in the military that have. It doesn't look like Call of Duty to a lot of people serving.
No, imagine this, Peter. Imagine this for like a solid week when you're in the Straits of Hormuz, which is called the Silkworm Envelope, where you could pick a missile hit at any time because that's what our job was, to prevent the missile from hitting the carrier. Think about this. You're in general quarters almost all the time. Port and starboard watches. You're in full flash gear. You're on high alert every minute, every second for about a week. Think about that. You barely got time to sleep. You may go 2 days without sleep.
I know.
And it's suffering from horrible pollution. That's what a lot of the people that I know had to deal with.
Well, there was soot everywhere.
From diesel burning and stuff.
Soot. Yeah, if you walked outside and you looked at the ship from the outside, you can see a thin layer of soot from the Iraqi.
I can't imagine.
That probably affected people more than bullets and bombs.
I didn't.
PTSD.
I lived.
For everybody.
I lived in the engine room, so I mean, I was used to being around, stuff, But yeah, and then he was like trying to say that I wasn't a nuclear person. I was on it, I was just like a regular like boiler tech or something. And I'm like, what? I was like, dude.
He's one to fucking talk.
Well, it even got even better. Check this out. I'll tell you this story too. My listeners care or not, but whatever. So this is a true story. We had 2 engine rooms on the USS Truxtun. And in the number 1 engine room, which I was in charge of, the engine room supervisor for M1, we had what's called a distilling unit. It was on the 2nd level, and it used steam coming off the reactor to make potable water. Okay, so it's just basically a big heat exchanger. It heated up the seawater. It filtered out all the impurities, all the brine, and then it condensed it, and then it would refine it, and then we'd put sodium hydrochloride in it, which is basically bleach, and we would put in the potable water supplies. We supply that for the ship.
Right.
Now, anybody who knows anything about nuclear power would tell you that because we came off the supply line for the nuclear reactor, it affects nuclear power. Anything that has steam affects nuclear power. You learn this in power school. So it was in the engine room where the nuclear reactor was, right? It's you have to be a nuke to order to go in the engine room and work in there. You have what's called a thermoluminescentimeter. You don't let the A gang go down into the engine room on a nuclear plant. You have to be certified. You have to know what the fuck you're doing. You have to have radiological controls. Right. And so one day the distilling unit went tits up, and I had to lead a team to go fix it and stuff like that, right? And so he's just arguing like, oh look, Steve wasn't a nuke. He just fixed water
What do you think he
makers.
did? Fix the refrigerator?
But I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're on a ship. Where do you think the steam come from? A reactor. Who do you think is controlling of the reactor?
Dumbass.
Do you know how a reactor works?
No, of course he doesn't. He has no idea how steam
It's not that complicated, really.
That's the problem. All you have to do is hear the word nuclear and know that you have to be a fucking expert to be around it. Okay, it doesn't take fucking brain surgery.
It took many years.
Seriously,
it took many
you need to be an
years.
expert, mostly for your own safety. It's not. It's not a complicated mechanism overall. It's just the danger of if someone drops a wrench and something fucks up.
The physics is. You have to know a little bit about the physics, obviously, because you have to understand when you have a supply steam demand, how that's going to affect the temperature of the moderator. And the moderator goes down, it gets more dense. You get more dense, you get more neutrons being thermalized because you have less macroscopic cross-sections for absorption, for scattering. You also have lethargy, which is the average logarithmic energy decrement per collision coefficient. So yeah, it gets a little bit complicated if you want to talk about physics. But
okay, so since you can just explain that, tells me you fucking know what you're talking about.
I graduated in my class, yeah. And you know what's so funny is the concepts aren't that hard. The lethargy, which again, the average macroscopic cross-sections for absorption, just basically your target area, and the what was called the average logarithmic energy decrement per collision coefficient, which we call squiggle. All that meant is how much energy on the average a neutron is being lost, and with each collision it has with something else. So as the neutron hits something, it loses energy. It gets into thermalized range where it presents a better bullet, so to speak, to the atom, the uranium atom. So uranium likes to absorb thermalized neutrons, slow neutrons. By thermalization process, from a fast neutron to thermalization, the amount of energy it loses each time is the average logarithmic energy decrement per collision coefficient, or which we call squiggle. He's not.
You're talking to like a science idiot over here, right?
Well, it's so's UNIRock, right?
We're all kind of in similar stuff. I'm an aerospace engineer. I've never worked with nuclear tech.
Oh my god! I'm with a bunch of smart people.
But you've worked with Stokes equations. You understand Bernoulli's equation, don't you?
Yeah.
No.
No, Rod. Have you ever worked with?
I'm sure he does.
I've only tangentially heard with it. Like I worked with like dual engine prop planes and stuff like that.
Okay, but those are all.
And
you have lift,
I worked for Lockheed.
How does an airplane fly? Matter of fact, what's funny is a lot of people don't actually know how an airplane flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they think for some reason, and this is misinformation that a lot of schools put out. The wing of the airplane doesn't fly because you have a difference in surface area. A lot of people think that for some reason. It's not that. It's what happens is the leading edge of the plane has a curvature to it that allows the flow of air, which is a fluid, to travel faster over the top than it does the bottom. And because of Bernoulli's equation, we have potential energy and kinetic energy being exchanged. The pressure above the wing becomes lower because you have a higher kinetic energy because you've got to move faster across the top than you do the bottom. So that kinetic energy is increased, but potential energy has to decrease. You have a decrease in pressure, and so that causes that lift.
Oh yeah, you said it for me. Hit the nail on
That
the
makes
head.
sense.
Yeah, and so it has nothing to do with the fact that there's more surface area above. It has to do with the trailing edge of that, or that leading edge of that wing. It has to accelerate that airflow much faster, so it reaches the end of the wing at the same time as the bottom. And the only way that's possible is through this exchange that's done through Bernoulli's equation. And yes, I took physics, okay. But yeah, UNIRock doesn't.
Apparently.
He thinks that you don't have to know much even to do a boiler stuff. Well, yeah, you kind of do
No.
that too. You have to understand, how steam works and
I know.
phase changes.
You fuck something up, it's going to burn your face off.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
blow
Like it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah. I mean,
But he's talking out his ass.
course
He
he is.
doesn't know what you do, and he doesn't understand it when you explain it any more than I do. So, I mean, he's just making shit up, just like he always does when he doesn't understand something.
That's what he did in the flat Earth stuff. The flat Earth, the people that were, even the globe earthers, like, dude, you're not. Dude, don't.
I heard that he went after the flat Earth people.
Yeah, but he was an idiot.
And it ended badly.
He couldn't even explain why the Earth isn't flat. He's so stupid. And I guarantee you, anybody who watches my show that knows physics would be able to explain what I just explained. It's off the top of my head.
I feel like the flat Earth people are kind of beneath me, and a lot of people, it's like not even worth addressing. It's like this is such a deep level of stupid.
Yeah, well, unfortunately,
you can't.
UNIRock is a deep level of stupid that people have co-signed and enabled for years. And
Well,
I'm glad.
I guess they're comfy there then.
I'm glad it's all coming out. I don't think, on all seriously, I doubt much will come from it. Who knows?
But what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen since this letter came out and JLR made the statement?
What I think will come out. Oh yeah, did you let my audience know that JLR said that he never even sent a letter? He sent a cease and desist, and it was actually his agent or whoever it was. What was it? Not
You
produce.
just did. Perfect.
Yeah. What? Not his produce.
Yeah, and EKC People Sucks. She has the letter, their statement, and if you want to hear it, go to her website.
His promotional person. Yeah. His promotional person said
All these people seem way too stupid to figure out who I am exactly.
So he even said I watched some videos like I don't know what you're talking about. What letter? I never sent anybody any handwritten letter kind of stuff. It is like I didn't know what you're talking about. And then his promotional agent was like, yeah, we sent UNIRock a cease and desist. And so once that all came out, UNIRock has a couple different choices. He could basically double down and say they're all lying, right? Because it's UNIRock. Or he could just make people try to forget about it and start doing videos on other things. This is what his normal modus operandi has been.
But Erin has the letter.
It doesn't matter. He'll start talking
about. They sent her a copy of the letter. She can post it at any time. They told her she could.
What he'll say is this: I don't want to talk about it. There's more behind this that my lawyer won't let me speak about. There's more that you guys don't know.
I gotta talk to my lawyer.
So what we're going to do is, until that's resolved, we're going to go and we're going to talk about this other subject for the next 2 years. Until people forget.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to my high-powered attorney, Ron Schleusman.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are, buddy.
That's what I think.
Hold her coat for her.
That's what I think he's gonna do. And keep in mind, Bernoulli's principle is pretty damn important. It really is. Bernoulli's principle is extremely important in physics. I would say for the Stokes equation is probably the most important, but that's also one of the most complicated equations when dealing with turbulent flow.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit to it that I feel like this person, I've seen a lot of Bobby Big Dicks that try and pretend that they were Rambo. Oh, I served here and there. And don't bullshit me. No. I can smell it a mile away. I can smell the shit on your breath.
And this is why he wanted to.
I feel like he's stealing valor.
He did steal valor. This is why he wanted to tear me down, because I'm very proud that I graduated from the toughest academic military school in the world. The nuclear power program is a very, very advanced program, and there are people shit on me going, "Oh, well, Steve is just a glorified, evaporator tech." No, I'm sorry, but
I don't care what you did.
That's publicly available information, right?
It's a lot more complicated than that shit. And you know what?
But you served. That's all that matters. You served.
And I was at school or studying 12 to 15 hours a day just to pass these courses.
I mean, I don't. If he served, cool. But he can't even prove that he actually served. And that's my issue.
He did serve. I have no doubt that he served.
At the same time, I'm like...
But him lying about how he got hurt, that's dishonest, man.
That is stolen valor. That is stolen valor.
When he came out,
Fanny got hit by an IED.
It's stolen valor, because he said originally he was hurt in a helo.
He said he got helicoptered out, right? Didn't he get air flighted out or something?
From Afghanistan, but originally he said that he was on a training op for paratroopers, and somebody pushed him out, or he fell from too high of a thing. That was his original thing that he said to the community years ago.
Oh yeah, the
I bet
Halo
you
jump.
Well, it wasn't even a Halo
He
jump.
fell off the-
Once again, another thing that it sounds like he learned from Call of Duty.
Yeah, it wasn't a Halo jump. It was a Halo jump, but not a Halo. But it was training. It was.
I don't believe it. I believe he fell off the frickin' the climbing tower at fucking basic.
right. Hey, those
Probably,
motherfuckers.
That's what I
like
believe.
there's so many jobs in the
when my kid was
military.
there,
He could have been shoveling shit in Afghanistan.
Basics no joke, man. I respect.
But you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, I respect.
If he was shoveling shit in Afghanistan, that's fine.
It's still a job. Just be honest about it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If he was just honest about it, because like I said, I respect anybody who makes it through boot camp. Boot camp's
I
fucking
do think
hard.
he got hurt, but I don't know how.
Yeah, no, I think he did too, and I think it's probably his own fault.
People like twist their ankle and stuff all the time in the military.
Well, this is what I'm saying. He's been so obfuscating.
I do think he probably fucked up his back. I can kind of tell the way he moves.
But that's
sometimes
by his own doing.
His back is fucked up.
I think that he fucked up on his
No,
on
you
training.
can't say that because
That's
okay,
what
so
I
if I
think,
turn left instead of right and a car hits me, is it my own doing?
I think he was
You can't say that.
I think he was training. He didn't probably fall properly because in parachute training you're taught to fall a very specific way, and he just didn't do it right. This is a plausible explanation that.
Wait, you're talking about You're talking about paratroopers?
Yeah, he was a paratrooper.
Do you really fucking believe he did that?
Yeah, he was
I've never done that myself, but I understand like the basics of it.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to go. It's really easy to go way too stiff, and you can really mess
I
up
think
your
he was
back.
trained to be airborne, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, until he resolves it, it's always going to be a mystery, isn't it? Right?
But he loves that because people are talking about him. Here we are now.
Well, people need to pressure him on that too one of these days. But as far as like I said,
but his whole thing is,
I think he's just going to.
It doesn't matter whether it's good publicity or bad. He's still getting views. Just by somebody hearing us, they're going to go listen to him.
Oh yeah, but do this, Bloom, because you're obviously going to. You remind me of a pit bull with a bone. You're not going to let this go, and I appreciate that. So do this.
With nonsense? Fuck no. She's a bitch. I'm going after the bitch.
Nonsense and Uni.
I like that.
But let's see what Uni does in the next couple of days, and see if he does exactly what I think he was going to do, which is kind of bloviate a little bit about it, but then move on to some other topic because I don't see how he can get out of it. I mean, unless he actually has a handwritten letter from this guy, he's done, which we know he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Right. So he has.
But that means you know what they're going to do? They're going to cause a distraction.
Right.
I'm going to play Becky. It's all in a distraction. It's a big plan. All this is all a plan. They don't want us to know where the money went.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yeah, these fucking bloviating geniuses. These are the guys who concoct this plan.
I wouldn't be surprised if the motherfucker actually thought it was a good idea to start talking about me again, because I don't care, because I'm never going to talk to him about
I think your name has come up recently.
Yeah, it won't be for a few months.
It has over with nonsense because, like I said, she's drugging up old shit.
I'm not going to be doing this stuff with nonsense in Uni. I couldn't care less. I'm leaving it for Aaron and Beta and you and everybody else.
Yep.
All your shit. You go ahead. I don't want the content. I don't care. It's not. I
don't care about Uni.
I'm only talking about this.
He's nothing. He doesn't. He's always going to be there. He's always going to find something to talk about. Like I said, he's just a character.
He's just a cockroach.
I don't give a fuck. But I do know his people are fucking vicious.
And
I think
100%.
that Becky just bit off more than she can chew. And I think that if we just sit back and watch, providing this whole...
I agree.
I don't know. She's trying to get involved in the Ski and Charlotte shit right now. She's trying to insert herself to avoid this.
But
I really feel like if people will stay on that, I think that if Uni's people go after her, though, it's going to be over for her, man, because they don't play.
They don't play.
His people do not play.
No,
it seems like the goose might have been cooked.
Nonsense has no idea the depths Uni will go to.
No, she doesn't, and I think that she really, really, she could be in big trouble with that. I mean, whereas we're just calling out her lies and shit. Okay, we're just putting videos. His people go like real life.
They're absolutely in real life.
And I know she says we do, but we don't. I don't know who she thinks over here does.
Never, and that's
I've never either, and I wouldn't.
I have my.
I know, honestly, we've talked a lot about these people that you guys know them better than I do. I had more fun talking about fucking Happy Madison films and stuff like that. It's like, why can't they just find a lane away from this drama bullshit
because they're
with lies?
They have to have the drama.
Because they have to create it.
They feed on it. That's who they are.
Yeah, and for her, she likes to hate on people.
Yeah.
That's what she
fuck,
does.
man, I could do a 1 hour show talking about Rocco's modern life or something like that and have more fun. Like, why can't these people do something like that?
People.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with her going after people, but I want her to choose people worthy of her going after. There are so many scammers on the internet. There's so many people that are doing really, really terrible things.
And
why is she not going after them instead of, picking at Beta, or picking at, fucking, it's just stupid. Why is she not really making a difference?
Yeah.
I can understand like wanting to go after certain people. Like you got your Steven Crowders out there and people like that who like deserve it. They're asking for it. But I mean,
we got people out there that are pretending they have cancer.
Oh yeah.
We got freaking.
Well, that's horrible. Really?
Go after them. I mean, I'm like, Becky, go after them, dude. Use your skills for good.
There's probably a million dickheads on the internet that are worth going after.
I don't think she can. I think she
could really make a good name for herself doing that.
I think she thrives on the
hate.
The hate. Yeah, I think she loves the persecution. She loves the attention. She likes.
Yeah,
that.
she does.
Yeah, I think she can.
She really does. Yeah. I agree.
Yep, exactly.
Man, I don't like that shit. I want people to like me as an entertainer.
And I don't think she does. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want them to like her, but she wants to like accumulate her little cult over there.
Yep.
And I think that it's just, if they would just get together and like really aim for something bigger than them, I feel like that would really she could create her own community of actually people that are actually doing good things. And she can still be mean to the people that are being bad, but she can do it in a way that's not aimed at the wrong people.
Yeah, but the problem is that she's so. I don't think. I mean, going after Letitia, her teaming up with UNIRock, her supposedly having these ties with Katie Joy. She's got a lot to account for. People are not going to forgive her so easily for a lot of things.
Yes, she does.
And I think she needs a awakening. She needs what do they call it? Come to Jesus Day, I guess, so to speak. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. This might be UNIRock's Come to Jesus Day, but he can never change, and he will. Even if he does change, he still needs to rot in hell. There's no forgiveness for him.
But how do you feel about Rabbit going on her stream and saying that she feels like Uni took advantage? Her exact words, advantage.
That has got to be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. Rabbit, you are a fucking moron if you think that's the case. Rabbit, you have no...
Well, I feel like she got confused, like midstream. Like she started off like differently, and then she suddenly switched, and I was like, what is she even... I think she was confused.
They were enabling each other. I was like, what is she talking about? There is no way Uni Rock used nonsense any way, shape, or form. She was complicit from start to finish. Well, yeah, that's fine, but
he used her.
Yeah, but that's whatever.
That's because she got there first.
Yeah, whatever.
She started it first.
Look,
that was the whole thing,
dude. I use.
I don't understand how they can hold him responsible.
I hate
the fucker.
I'm lazy,
but I still am not going to hold him responsible.
I will find a video I like, and I'll just review the video I like, which reviews another video. There's nothing wrong with that. They get credit for it. You send them some subs. It's perfectly fine. It's fair use. That's fine. If somebody wants to review my video or reviewing somebody else's video, I'm thrilled. Knock yourself out. I love that.
It's like
I'm honored.
Everyone in that circle is only helping each other, essentially, whether they intend to or not.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly.
It's like the drama community is the ultimate pyramid scheme, to be honest. Seriously, everybody's making fucking money. Okay, that's the bottom line. If you're monetized, you're making fucking money. That's just the way it is.
It's not a lot.
So
it's not a lot.
No, it's not. And I mean, I got a job I love. I'm not interested in doing anything like that. I'm not interested in getting big. I mean, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd still go to work. So I don't give a fuck about that. And I mean, now if somebody wants to throw money at me, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm not. But at the same time, there's no ulterior motive there.
You're lucky that you have a job you like. I've always had jobs that
I know.
Whatever. But this is my job now. I just I got a promotion like 6-7 weeks ago, and yeah,
congratulations.
I don't want to change it for anything. It's there's ups and downs.
Saying. When you find it. When you find where you're supposed to be, you just know.
I love the people I work with. It's right up my alley. It's not a difficult job. It's physical.
Okay,
speaking.
but that's like.
And that's what I'm looking for. I don't want to. I'm old. I don't want to sit there and lift 50 pounds.
I'm old too.
I'm done with that.
Yeah.
So all I do, now I just watch cameras and I look for shoplifters and things of that nature. That's.
But if you love it, you love it. Who cares what it is?
It's almost like a game. Well, it's so funny because I make it personal, and I shouldn't, but they kind of want you to. That when you see somebody who's
You're
doing,
better at it when you make it personal.
because when I see somebody doing something that they think they're getting away with, and I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
bust them, I'm like, yeah, fucker. Fuck,
I
you think
know.
you
I know
got-
exactly what you're saying.
I-
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
My industry is very similar.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're
That's a
saying.
great feeling, man. That's a fucking great feeling. When I can show other people, hey, look, this is what they did here, here, and here. Oh, that motherfucker, man. Yeah, nope. We see him again. He's done. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, thieves might get away with it once or twice, but they don't seem to realize there's a lot going on in the background. In any place that you walk into, any store that has any kind of loss prevention, there's a lot going on, and the skilled people.
I used to date a boy who did that. Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, and the skilled people can
Loss
recognize
prevention for dealers.
dealers. Yeah, absolutely.
I've been a lifelong criminal, so I can't really say too much.
Don't incriminate. Don't incriminate yourself.
I've never stolen anything in my life.
No,
so.
I never did, except for when I was 2 years old. My mom. I kind of remember the story. My mom gave my sister a quarter and me a dime, and I must have been 3 or 4. And I remember it was in the 70s, obviously, early 70s, and for some reason, it was a pack of chiclets I wanted. And so I took the chiclets and walked out of the building, and my mom made me go back and talk to the manager, and I just remember just crying my eyes out, being so apologetic.
Yep, embarrassment and humiliation.
Oh, my
yep.
God. I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to go to jail.
And you never did it again.
Never. No. Oh, I swear to God, it scarred me for fucking life. And I respected my mom for that.
Not my thing. Nope.
I was kind of in a maximum security gang, I might have done a little bit more than that.
Yeah, you're the hardcore. We know. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if anybody wants to go collect some money from Kyle to get a percentage, yeah, we talked about that, huh?
Oh yeah, I'll be his celly.
Yeah, Kyle,
I'll give him back rubs.
Kyle's a big dude. He roided
Holy
out,
shit.
man. That dude is seriously massive. Kyle got bulked up like a motherfucker, man. It's scary.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's scary. Anyways, all right, so let's wrap this up because I do got to go to bed here. It's midnight, and I got to be up at 8. So, Blue, I do thank you very, very much for coming on. This has been a complete pleasure, and I'm glad that you've been paying attention and seeing the same shit
Thanks for inviting me.
that we're seeing. It's nice to know that there are actual people out there paying attention and they're not complete idiots. So, thank you for that. Okay.
I was glad to have you on for a second time today as well. I was happy to talk about Big Daddy.
Big
And
Daddy.
Happy Madison films.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we'll have to catch up on Billy Madison's films.
Well, I'll get
for
with-
sure.
Don't get me started. I'm a movie man.
Look, I'll get Nikki, and we'll talk about movies because Nikki wants to talk about movie night. That'd be fun. Look,
Absolutely.
listen to this.
I watch everything.
There's I'll leave you guys with this. There's a handful of movies that I really, really love and I recommend. And so why don't we have a night where we just drink some beer and we'll recommend like 3 movies to each other or something, and then the following week we'll compare notes on them and see what we think.
I'm down.
I just watched a Lego movie half an hour ago.
I haven't seen it,
movie's
but
great.
that seems like it'd be a fun movie. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be fun because, like I said, I love learning about movies I never heard of before. There have been sometimes I go, "Hey, I've never seen that before." I'll go check it out, and I go, "Oh my God, that was great! Jesus, that was awesome!" Right? And I love, I love those kinds of movies. So I have a few in my back pocket where I'm like, "Dude, if you've never seen this before, this is the movie to watch."
Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah,
a classic. I love that movie, dude. Are you kidding? When he's with the gangbangers and they in the park and they're like trying to rob him and he's
Give me the fucking briefcase.
Yeah, I need a briefcase. Yeah, he just goes off on him. Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, but that's old. I'm talking about relatively more modern stuff. But anyways, I do got to go. Rod Feast, been a pleasure. Blue Apple, been a pleasure. Thank you guys. I'm gonna end the stream yard.
Thank
Just kind of
you.
wrap it up. So good night. Yep.
Yeah, have a
Good
good night, guys.
night. Bye, thanks.
Leave a comment. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. That was interesting. I didn't expect somebody to come in to know as much as they did. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Look, I don't know if UNIRock is canceled or not. I really at this point I just hope that if there's a hell, he's going there. I loathe the man to beyond my ability to even describe with words. I think he's probably the single most worst person I think I've ever ran into on the internet. I mean, a second only to Katie Joy, obviously. There have been others, but he is way worse than even Kyle. And Kyle stole money from me. What does that tell you? UNIRock is just one of the most duplicitous, unethical, morally bankrupt people I've ever encountered. And I'm sorry that he's gone to other communities and done what he's done. And even though I do not know Queen Bee, and Queen Bee will never watch this because she doesn't watch my stuff. I will tell her I am really sorry that this happened to her, that she had to go through this fear that UNIRock instilled in her about her and her kids merely because he wanted to get clicks and views. Nobody should have to go through that. So, if anybody does get in touch with Queen Bee, please relay my sincerest sympathy for that. That I couldn't imagine what that would be like, to think that that some psychopath wrote a letter to somebody that was talking about me and my kids, or in my case kid, just for clicks and views. That's just, it's sick. And I hope that any community that UNIRock runs to comes back and gets the facts from the commentator community, the QAnon communities, Great Debate community, Non-sequitur community, anybody that's ever had a dealing with UNIRock. This is the time to stand and say enough. Even the hardcore trolls are going, this is enough. So I don't know what his play is. I don't know what his next course of action is. I'm just going to sit back and watch like anybody else. I'm going to be talking about other stuff. I'm not going to be responding to UNIRock. I will never respond to UNIRock. I can't imagine having a reason to. Nonsense, maybe. There might be something there that I might have an interest in. But UNIRock can kiss my ass. Good night.